Joining me, as always, is my quite forgetful co-host, Blow Jiden. How you doing, Jiden?
Blow Jiden?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh.
Yeah, see, he's doing the bit, even though he's pretending to not know.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh.
right.
I'm very sleepy. It's terrible. I shouldn't even.
What do you mean you shouldn't even? Fuck him. He's the president.
Let's say you work at a grocery store and you're the one who's putting the tomato soup cans on the forklift, and you drive it, operating the stock in the sea, in the ocean.
And that's how we beat
Say
Medicare.
You're a crab. Say you're the crab, and you're like, who does the...
All right. Also with us most of the time is our wonderful showrunner, Gary behind the glass. Everyone give a wave to Gary.
Hey, everybody. Nothing's real. Everybody's happy. No one's dying. Find out next time who survives.
Anyway, everyone doing good?
Yeah, man. Not
Just like, anyway, moving on from that weird-ass statement.
That's not even close to the weirdest thing someone has said to me today, though. So our opening discussion today was going to be on magical names, right?
Ooh. I got a magical name for you right here.
What is it, Gary? What's the magical name?
Curly.
Kalagunda.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
What's Caladoon Dog me?
Caladoon Dog all up in these nuts, you stupid idiot. Got him.
Co-host, you were the one who wanted to use this topic. So what interested you about magic names? I know people have requested it, but what specifically made you want to, give it the time of day?
Well, I thought we'd be able to have an intelligent and possibly insightful conversation, but then I heard the beginning of this episode, and it's like, that shit ain't fucking happening, is it?
Would you like to start over?
We'll just power through,
as we always do.
You know, when you pitch that ball into the sand trap, and then you gotta get out the 9 wedge, and it goes off.
I'm legitimately regretting this because I should not have gone with the Joe Biden joke name, because you were just digging too deep into it now.
Do we want to start over?
You know what? Sure, let's start over. Start over.
God.
In the first aeon, I was the Great Spirit. In the second aeon, men knew me as the Horned God, Pangenitor, Panphage. In the third aeon, I was the Dark One, the Devil. In the fourth aeon, men knew me not, for I am the Hidden One. In the fifth aeon, I appeared before you as Baphomet, the god before all gods, who shall endure to the end of the earth. In this new aeon, I appear to you as CMN.
Imagine that there is a brilliant white light just above.
Is commentary on the magic art.
In the years of the primal force and the dawn of terrestrial birth.
Oh, that was very educational.
Now magic will take place. Don't be fooled by what I just said.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Slap Me Kennedy, and this is Chaos Magic News. Our listeners have been reported to say this is my only source of news. And God, do we feel sorry for them. Joining me, as always, is my coconutty co-host, Kamala Sheila Harris. How you doing, Kamala?
Better? Eh?
Do not come. You know what? You're trying to do some sex magic. Do not come.
Damn.
I'm gonna come.
I'm gonna do it.
And with us most of the time is our lovely showrunner, Gary behind the glass. Everybody give a wave to Gary.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? My name's Gary. I like long walks on the beach. And when you support the Patreon.
How's everyone doing this week?
Not too bad. I've been sick as a dog and dying, but I'm okay.
Yeah, it's been kind of a rough one, but that was through my own hubris.
That damn old your hubris.
Yeah, it's like the Icarus story, right? Where, you built these wings of wax and you think that I can fly so close to the sun. Then you get really, really drunk
Like
Any idea what the Hangover?
I thought Icarus is like what they made Twizzlers out of.
No, that's the left Twix.
Oh man, you remember the bit I had? Because I and people don't know this, but I was in marketing for a little while, right? So when they started,
never known.
they started doing the right Twix, left Twix, like pitting them against each other, kind of thing. And I had an idea for that where it was going to be commercials where we would say stuff like, like right Twix, crafted by artisan chocolatiers and some of the finest pastry chefs in the world. Left Twix, created by degenerate masturbators in insane asylums.
I think it would sell like fucking.
I thought it was
hotcakes.
great, but they did not
buy
enjoy it.
both
Something
of
about
those.
implying that half of their product was created by chronic masturbators is probably not.
Well, that's
you
the
know.
thing. It's a give and take campaign because you do that, right? And then you're
Yeah,
gonna be the centralist
I give
Twix,
them.
the
I give them.
Centrix.
Well-
Twix.
That's what you do.
Holy shit!
You've now just made a third product in a one product market. Do you get how fucking genius you are?
Well, the real problem with admitting that Twix is made by mentally unwell sex addicts is that you can't tell the truth in advertising.
Yeah, true.
Very
True.
true.
So like it's like you
But
can't.
the real truth would have been that both left and right Twix are made by stereotypical sex offenders in some sort of like 19010 sanitarium.
Yeah, the left Twix definitely hit his wife at one point, like, like just because, like, you know what I mean, like.
And now that we've scared off all of the new listeners, it's time for us to actually approach something akin to an opening discussion. This week, we're going to talk about something that's been requested 1 or 2 times by folks in the Discord: magical names. Magical names in a lot of the early like lodge magic were sort of a big deal, and the idea of like the magical motto or the magic name is sort of the defining aspect of the magician, the way that like it could represent the formula by which they understood the world, things like that. It could be a name that was taken upon them because it had a certain spiritual, magical significance. Generally, as you progressed in different grades and levels of attainment, you would take on probably 1 or 2 different names as time went on.
Are these names something that are, I mean, I'm sure it's a cumulative factor here, but I mean, some are given, some are proclaimed.
Yeah, I'm sure that was it wasn't an uncommon thing to get a name given to you. Or Lon Milo had some neat ways of looking at it where like you'd figure out what sort of axiom defined your life or defined the path you were on, and then you just translate it into Latin. And there you go. I think in chaos magic names, it's not like they don't happen, but I think we're a lot freer with it. Use the example of, one of the people that requested it, Local in the Discord, has mentioned that it's like that, I've tried using like magical names before, but just going by like my name, Local, and using that as my magic name has somehow been more effective.
I believe that. Local's a very magical name.
Yeah, well, it's like, it's almost funny, but like, when everybody starts, not just when you start defining yourself or understanding yourself by this particular name, but other people reinforce it. You can develop sort of a feeling of empowerment behind it, even if it is something goofy. It's like I'm co-host for the most part, and it's like that's that. I hope y'all don't think that my mama named me co-host.
Yeah, and who the fuck would name their kid Gary? First of all,
Yeah.
that's not real. That's not
Clearly,
real fucking
that
name.
was
That's a magic name. Come on.
Yeah, clearly that was given to you by a shaman in a circle, probably surrounded by bones.
Yeah, and I paid them heavily for all those bones.
Well, that's the other part of this that we're kind of glossing over, I suppose. It was not an uncommon practice in religions of the time, especially the older ones, right? Christianity, for instance, is filled with people taking on new names. I mean, Jesus literally renamed like 2 of his disciples and like, hey, you're Peter now.
I don't like it, Jesus. No, Peter.
Converts to Judaism also take on a name. Famously, the Jewish people have both a name for religious use, as it were, that is typically different from their given legal name. And and of course, in various sects of Buddhism, people have taken on different names as they've joined into monasteries or monastic orders. So it's not an uncommon thing to just be like, all right, this is my name now, and I'm not that same person. And we can understand why that would be in a certain sense, right? That's pretty obvious that when you have such a deep transformation in your sense of self, or at least the aspiration to one, that you would go under a new name.
That makes total sense. I mean, a name is everything as it needs to be. So if you want to give it that power, as all things in magic, you can give it that power. So
I think particularly the connection to things like the Golden Dawn's influence on modern occultism, where the Golden Dawn specifically had that as part of their grade system, where you take on a new name when you join the order. So, and just in the way that filters into all the stuff Crowley was doing, and then Wicca, that's where the term craft name, if either of you've heard that, comes from now, where you'll have your spooky magic name that you use when you're hanging out with your stupid fucking coven buddies in the circle, and you're like, don't call me Jimmy, I'm Bartholomew out here.
Nestor the Fester, okay? Don't you dare say I'm not. My name's not Bridget out here.
I'm Salome. Damn it. Yeah.
Well, to a certain extent, if there is this idea of trying to do to step from the mundane into the magical, right, or from the mundane to the sacred. If somebody calls you, you might be wearing the robes and there's the bells and smells going on, but then someone goes, "Hey, Ralph, you want to just come over?" Like that could very easily, just on the psychological level, take you out of it.
That's a good point.
Oh, I agree entirely. Well, I mean, I have a magical name. I don't use my name when I'm doing magic. I'm not like, "Hey, Kennedy." Although that might have been a good one. Damn, I should use that one.
Yeah, I've had
I chose Gary.
Yeah, I've had a grand total of 3 magical names in the entirety of my practice, and one of them was like I really thought it was important to have. So like I did a ritual where I was trying really hard to get somebody to give me this magical name, and it ended up coming from a song came into my head. And I couldn't remember the name of the song. And then when I looked it up, there was the name right there. And I'm not going to say what it is, but Kennedy knows. So, but when I found the song, the title of the song, it was like, oh, that's the name, huh?
That's right, everyone. His magic name was Mbop. Dot
Oh, shit. Bring into me the powers that be for Mbop.
Oh boy. I am Freighter Electric Feel. No.
I'm so in. I'm
Yeah,
so
but
fucking in for your fucking magic name to be Mbop.
God, that's so fucking. The other one. Well, the point is that I got the magic name, and it was like, okay, there were some neat coincidences that came around it, but I don't feel like it actually did anything super largely defining. I think maybe at the time it just gave me something to hang my hat on.
Right. A little token.
It's like, oh yeah, you're this guy, and you can go and be this magical guy and do the thing. And then later I took one on as part of an oath, and that is a name that I've sworn never to tell anyone. It doesn't, and there's maybe it's just sort of that idea of having the secret that no one else knows.
Hey Kennedy, what's that? What's called?
It's also Mbop.
It's still Mbop.
It's still Mbop.
It's double Mbop.
It's double Mbop.
It's Mbop 2.
Mbop. Mbop. Ba-da-da-da-da. It's the whole thing.
It's divvy dop dot doo wop.
Divvy dop dop doo wop. Yes, my brother in arms. Divvy dop doo wop.
So yeah, I suppose that there's that, and there was a significance to the name when I picked it and stuff like that. But and then finally, just recently, I did another very similar thing where I took on one new name as part of an oath thing.
it's just a little too early to say if it actually mattered or not. I think they're good in the idea of if you're trying to cause some sort of willed change in your identity and taking on a new name, or perhaps if you're simply trying to create or explore a new aspect of yourself, naming it can be very effective.
Yeah. I found this by David Burson, who is part of the infamous Marcella Mota AA lineage. He was the guy that founded the Society OTO, the SOTO, after they got told, like, no, you don't own the OTO. But he wrote a little thing called On the Magical Motto. And I'm not going to read the entirety of it or anything, but I just, I may not particularly vibe with a lot of this person's work, but I read this many years ago and it's kind of stuck with me. I must reiterate that your choice of motto is going to determine your path. You are, in fact, invoking a real force when you take a motto and identify with it. An adept once told me many years ago, you are what you invoke. And I might add that you are what you name yourself in regards to magical mottos. Let me give you 2 case examples of real aspirants falling from the wrong choice. Several cases in memory have met with disaster from not perceiving this basic principle. And these examples, I promise you, actually exist or have existed in my lifetime. Learn from them. I don't really want to read both of these, but basically one of them named themselves 333, which is the number of Karanzan, and he just talks about how this guy turned into a complete jabberbox idiot and didn't get anywhere. The one that I wanted to bring up, because I think this one's really funny, is another aspirant thought he would try and be clever and call himself Dead Fish.
Was it like in Latin?
No, just Dead Fish. I personally demanded he give me an explanation of this name. Freighter Dead Fish proudly proclaimed it means Christ on rye. His clever answer showed me that he had chosen this name not to identify with his spiritual path as he was originally instructed, but to show off to friends that were equally as creepy as he.
What?
Basically,
he called him creepy.
Yeah, he said that.
Weirdo.
Yeah,
like
he said
dork.
he said he wanted to call himself Dead Fish because he's a creepy little weirdo, and he's still being a creepy little weirdo to this day. Now, not to, again, bag on David Burson or anything like that, because I don't really need to. But
I will. Fuck him.
I think
we're talking about, really. So
yeah, don't worry about it. I do think it's illustrative to say that if you're taking on a magical name, the idea that you're taking on something that is going to define what the work you're doing is an important thing to look at. And of course, not to denigrate local, for instance, but if you take on a name that's got a significance that's humorous or goofy or something like that, understand you're probably going to end up doing goofy magic stuff for a while. Like he said, if you name yourself Freighter Dead Fish, don't be expected to be like digging into the deep aspects of reality. You're probably going to smell like dead fish.
Probably going to be unliked and everyone thinks you're a smelly loser.
Well, arguably there's a lot of occultists that were like that before they got the name. So like,
yeah, but I mean like you're not helping yourself any for sure.
Yeah. Name yourself Freighter Old Spice.
Yeah.
You're going to smell like a winner.
Or McMoney Mogul Big Bags.
At the same time, though, I guess probably trying to cover up your destitution with like a fancy Latin name isn't really going to do you a whole lot of favors either. That's like famously that I think Coco was the one that brought it up the last time we were talking about Jack Parsons, who had a fancy magic name that was just butchered fucking Latin, and Crowley made fun of him for it.
Hell yeah.
Do you have any advice for people picking out a magical name, co-host?
I think it's really less important on the idea of like, oh, if I pick the wrong name, it's going to fuck me up. But I think it's not something that you should. Well, there's almost 2 ways to go about it. There is the fact that it's like, if you pick one and it doesn't resonate, like I said, the first magic name I picked at the time, it felt like it was a super important thing. And now I look at it and it's like, it's just sort of a thing I did. And it doesn't, it's not like it was unimportant or insignificant, but it doesn't hold any power over me anymore. The one that I'm doing now, it might fizzle out completely. Like, so I think there are people that have probably had much deeper connections with their magical mottos or magical names. But I guess the answer is like, if you look at it as this is a mask that you can try on, then you really shouldn't be worried about it, because then you can just take it off and get rid of it. But if you are going to look at this as like, no, this is speaking to some core of my being, then maybe just give it the reverence that it deserves. We talk about like the story of the Mickey Mouse notebook,
Right.
the Mickey Mouse dream journal, and how it's like, you got the cheap spiral bound Mickey Mouse thing to write your dreams in, and wondering why your dreams aren't giving forth their deep significant secrets. And it's like, it's because you didn't approach it with the reverence that it deserved. So maybe your magical names could be like that.
I think I vibe a lot with the fact that like Crowley would take on different names for just specific work. I think that's something that that kind of fits the bill of what you're talking about. It doesn't have to be something that necessarily defines your entire existence. I mean, of course, I have one of those. The first magical motto I took on was something that still holds that kind of significance for me. But I've also just taken on names for, I'm doing a working right now where I need to be Freighter Big Dick. So I'm going to be Freighter Big Dick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think that's really all I've got. I guess maybe we could say a little bit more about almost the unintentional magic names, or sort of the odd ones. Although now that I'm thinking about it, there's another good example in the Discord where somebody asked for a magical name, and my response was, I got a random word generator and I just shot like, 2 words out, and it's like, all right, you're star fixture now.
Oh yeah.
And they went with it.
And they're still carrying it.
Yeah. I mean, but it also seems to be working out pretty well for them, because they are a star in my heart, and they are a fixture of our community.
Hey.
All right, we'll end it there.
Hey. Hit that like button and subscribe, you fucking
Yeah, I'm
idiots.
walking
Come
here.
on. Yeah, I'm fucking subscribed and loving CMN here. Come on.
Gary, you have any thoughts on magical names from the more outsider perspective?
I do. 1 second.
You just want a magical name right now.
So, well, I of course, and I do have one. So, wow, first of all,
Random.
and second of all,
Word generator for Gary.
I
right,
believe
you are-
in that ism that kind of pointed at earlier, and that everything that you give meaning to has meaning, because your existence is what your perception is, and what you exist in. So to allow yourself to be caught up or to invoke something, such as a name for a specific practice or a target, I mean, it makes total sense. Additionally, as many things in life, theatrics are as important as the actual doing of the thing sometimes. I mean, to do the thing, sometimes the theatrics are the steps to get there. Not saying that magical names are theatrics, but just pointing out like...
No.
That's
have
a
another
very good
aspect
point.
of this that we didn't touch at all, because all of us are also musicians. And all of us have taken on like a rap name or a production name or a band name at some point.
Yeah, and it's a very similar kind of cavalcade there, where there is just an image or a brand or an identity.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
it goes
exactly.
even to marketing too. Is this, what are we trying to convey? What are we trying to will into this existence? And every step of that matters and counts, including the names of things,
Yeah.
and the names of you, and the names of what you call things during.
Actually,
the do.
I'll do a real good counter here. Is that I never remember the guy's name, but it's one of the guys that's in the Black Keys talked about a quote that always stuck with me. It's like, every band name is really stupid until you have a hit.
Oh
then
yeah,
they're great.
yeah.
Then it's like, oh man, so maybe that's the answer, is like, find a magic name until something really wild happens and it sticks, and then you're gonna feel awesome.
Well, I mean,
But if that doesn't work,
oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
if that doesn't work, we can hit generate 2 random words, because now look at you. You're helicopter spontaneous.
Helicopter spontaneous, come forward.
Well, that's like, no, I mean, I kind of get that though, because think about it. We all know Silver Ravenwolf, right? Well-known occult writer.
That is the dumbest fucking name you've ever heard in your life if you didn't like have a career attached to it of like actually talking about things
if there wasn't money involved
I'm
with
saying
that, that's a person
I'm
getting
not-
punched on the
if
side
this
of the
isn't
road.
like a well-known
Like,
person had been doing it for a while, I'd be like, fucking Jesus, is this Zanga in fucking 2002?
Give me your fucking money, you twerp.
Where's
Like,
your,
I
is
just
this
punch
your
him.
first Sona? Stupid. This is a
Yeah.
Christian character.
No, not that we condone bullying here at CMN, but yeah, I'd kick the shit
saying
out.
seriously,
I would inflict physical violence on this person for being different. Not that I condone that sort of
Not that that's my like
That's
vibe. or anything.
antagonistic behavior.
Not if that's like my thing or nothing. It's not. I don't do that.
but
But
hand me that lunch money you got.
but give me your fucking bag, you dork.
Give me that jacket because it's mine now. All right. Do we have any more thoughts on magic names, or are we ready to move on?
Oh, I do have one. Really want to like solidify on that thing you said about the Black Keys thing. Everything is stupid until it's not. So just do the thing, everybody. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Just go. Yeah, just fucking go for it.
Yeah. Including a name, including a fucking anything magic, anything non-magic, because it's also magic, you fucks.
you get so
But,
passionate
yeah.
about that.
I don't know why I got so.
You turning
know.
into the
I don't
Shia
know why.
LaBeouf videos. Like, just
I
do
think-
it.
I think I just got fucking a little bit of like Benadryl upheaval.
My body's fighting the antihistamine.
Boy, I just had to fight off the Hat Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hat Man wanted a little bit of cash, so I said no.
All right. Okay. And before we go, listener, we are going to generate you a unique and personal magical name with the 2-word random generator. And note that this will be different for every single listener.
Yeah, and if you
Using
try to listen back,
patent,
it's like ingrained into
it's gonna
your listening.
it's gonna remember. It's gonna remember that it was you listening, and it's gonna know. So here you go. And your new magical name is Inspiration Landscape.
Yeah, that's dumb.
fucking
Give me your
stupid.
lunch money.
Well, fine. How
Inspiration
about
Landscape. What are we? Fucking DreamWorks?
how about Launch Oven?
Launch oven?
Launch Oven?
Console.
All right,
Now
no,
that's
fine.
got some
know what?
fucking wheels.
You know what? Y'all drive a hard bargain. We're gonna do one more
All right.
for the listeners, because we really want to give you a bit like Pokemon. You're gonna get your choice. All right, you got Inspiration Landscape, you got Launch Oven, and then you got those are just slurs. All right, moving on.
Where did you find this generator? Are you just writing words out? Did you
He's
just
been
write
looking
some
at his
things
text
and you're like,
messages.
oh, nope, I can't write.
Like, damn, I certainly do have strong feelings about the Armenians, don't I?
Huh.
Oh my god. Oh. Well, I don't know how magical it is, but we've certainly got a motto that we're about to invoke. And that is watching
What's in the news? Indeed. It's nice to hear you do that because we haven't done that in a couple episodes because we didn't do it last time because of the special, and before that, G and
You were
I had
AI
decided that we
synthesized.
were no, we decided to do a new one. Remember? Because we were
that's
like,
right.
we
what's
What's
in
recorded that whole
news?
episode without you, remember?
Yeah. It's okay. We got to get AI doubles for everybody soon, or this is not going to work.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, we're all too busy.
All right.
we're all too busy
And
to
we-
do the
we-
things we like.
And we've had another slurry of headlines, just a tour de force of wild stuff, and we're not going to be able to cover all of them. But I mean, I think what are the big ones right now? Like there was the debate, which happened.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. Did it even really happen? I mean,
I'm sure for some people it felt like a fever dream. Like for Joe Biden, it probably felt like a fever dream.
Jesus. I think the only thing that's really newsworthy about it is just how many people were willing to be like, oh no, it's so bad, we need to not make him be the president. Like, dude, haven't you been paying attention for the last like 8 years?
Haven't you been paying attention for the man's entire life because he's fucking 80 years old?
Yeah, right. Like,
I mean,
well,
like, what do you want from him? What do you
yeah,
want from either of these people, these geriatric fucking angels?
I mean, we've got nursing home all-stars trying to run the fucking country, and it's abysmal, and it's exactly what I have complained about for the last year, and that's just on this show.
Yeah,
I remember I heard someone say something to the effect of like, God, like he would be great if he was just like, 10 years younger. And like, if he was 10 years younger, he would still be in his 70s.
Yeah,
He'd still be one of the oldest presidents to ever sit on the. Anyway, I think we talked about where everybody was saying like, oh man, Trump's. Well, I won't say everybody, but there were a lot of people on the Democratic end, and a lot of liberal types, and a lot of leftists too. But people that were going, oh, look how crazy Trump is. Clearly he's dementiated, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as Joe Biden got in office, they all shut up. And they were like, no, you can't say that he's cognitively deficient or anything. You're just being ageist or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you're just blatant hypocrites.
Oh, yeah.
But-
both sides forever
but I
and
think-
ever have been that.
Well, yeah, I
in
mean,
trying
point
to
out
the same
political hypocrisy, say it ain't
thing.
so.
I know, yeah.
But it is weird, the knee-jerk response of this debate, that a lot of people are now like, oh no, this was actually a bad idea. He's really sick.
To take this to the Magic side of things, right? It is interesting to see what a concerted image campaign can do, because again, we've been seeing it. We've been paying attention. We were the ones looking for it and hoping that, well, I won't even say we were looking for it. It was more of just, we were in the right circles to be presented with like, oh, hey, check it out. Here's Joe Biden just wandering off. Here's Joe Biden turning and like looking out at the ocean or over at nothing. And everyone else like acting like, oh no, we were all going to turn and look this way because he's definitely not like losing his fucking mind. When you can keep, I guess we'll say, in a certain media bubble, right? Where you're only getting your news from these pre-approved sources and you're only getting your social media interactions from the people you've curated because they agree with you. Just how easy it is to believe that someone that is clearly a fucking walking rutabaga is like okay to be the president, until you have to be forced to see it because you're like, oh, well, I'm not going to miss the debate. And then you see it and you're like, oh, fuck. He's like, he beat Medicaid.
Yeah, yeah.
He beat Medicaid.
Oh man. Yeah, it wasn't like it was a really dog shit example of a debate. And it's
Incredibly.
I knew, I guess the what's even sadder is it's like, because the one thing that I hold on to in the last go around was like Joe Biden going like, when, inshallah. And I was like, and then like, Trump had some zingers and stuff like that, but there was none of that here. This was just watching two old codgers dribble the tapioca down their shirts and everybody acting like nothing was wrong.
Well, and then they had to act like everything was wrong because they were freaking the fuck out thinking, oh no, we're going to lose.
It's not even the amount of like blowback on Trump is negligible compared to like,
well, no one
Biden,
gives a
like I
shit.
said,
No one cares about Trump.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I feel like it really is knee jerk where it's like, oh, now it's a problem. It wasn't a problem, for the past 4 years, was it? That's crazy.
Like I said, because they're either everyone played their hand in this situation. They either proved that they weren't paying attention or they proved that they are so reactionary to one bad moment that they would just be like, no, we got to fucking fix it.
Well, the only other thing I'll say about it from a magical perspective is there was already mentions of like Biden was hit with the Havana beam or, some sort of directed energy weapon, which my response was materialist will make up like all sorts of kooky sci-fi explanations for why my voodoo doll didn't work.
As he was
this was
Joe in the back of the head.
I was just sitting there with a doll, jabbing it with a needle in the brainstem every time he tried to answer a question. But no, clearly the answer was that there is a microwave beam that was positioned at the president and nobody knew about it. No, Magic isn't real. But you know what? You know what is real? The cell phone amplifier gun attachment. It looks like the light gun from Nintendo. and it's just hooked up to like a Gordon Gekko car phone from the old days, and they just turn the dial up and it shoots out like a proton pack. But yeah, I mean, it's funny to me that like there's the conspiracy angle of all of this, and then they're like, yeah, but clearly that's what happened to the president, and it's not that he's an old codger.
Well, just to get over the political hump as quickly as possible, we have to check in with the other potential president, RFK. What's RFK doing right now?
He got a brain worm still.
RFK does not deny sexual assault allegations. Rejects report he once ate dog meat. That's a politician right there, ain't it?
Is that how he got the worm? From eating dog meat?
From eating the dog.
He didn't cook it properly, didn't clean it, and it was just like, nope, now you got a brain worm. I also saw a thing saying that he was like, nah, I'm still good to be president, even though I'm missing part of my brain. And it's like, man, if you had to say, oh man, the presidential candidate that has obvious cognitive damage, it doesn't narrow it down.
It's like a requisite at this point. They don't want one that's too smart.
Oh boy. There's all the hubbub about the International Space Station, and Boeing didn't kill anybody yet, but they are still, I think as of right now, they're still stuck up. Well, they're not stuck. Like they could come home at any time. It's just that now they're really trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with the Starliner, that it is not functioning the way that it is supposed to. Because I think right now it's if they were to go now, it would basically, the whole thing's going to burn up, and you're not going to have any evidence left behind about what the hell they did wrong.
I just love how they made out an official statement saying we are not stuck, which is definitely the sort of thing you say when you're stuck.
It very much inspires confidence. Still no return date. But I think as Andrea in the Discord pointed out, it's like a lot of this does seem to be that there is a concerted effort to get as much evidence about how and why Boeing fucked up so that they can really put the screws to them afterwards, which this is probably costing a lot of money to certain government agencies. So they might be very interested in getting some of those losses recouped via Boeing's deep, deep pockets.
We get to charge them for another like 100,000 in lost productivity if we, stay a couple more days. So
yeah, I mean,
a literal drop in the bucket.
I'm sure there's more nuance to that, but I'll tell you, that seems to be the consensus. It's not like if these people absolutely needed to be home, they would be home by now. That's my understanding of the situation, but I don't know. Elon is probably happy that somebody else is fucking up space travel for the time being.
We ain't never going to any other planet and hanging out with aliens, are we?
We are never getting anywhere, man.
No, we're not. We're stuck.
Any of that.
We're not getting out. Do you guys remember when we had Mariana on and she talked about the idea of like, there's probably not a whole lot going on in the idea of aliens coming in tin cans and coming to the planet. Like there could be sort of the idea of alien intelligences from like a sort of psychical reality or something like that. And it's like, that's going to be our bet. We better hope that that's what's going on, because we're not getting off of we're not slingshotting ourselves to another planet.
Yeah, it's got to be a fourth dimension or not. I mean, like,
yeah, you need to get on. Just get your crystal grid and your prayer rug and really figure out this astral projection shit. Because
yeah, that's your best hope. You want to get to Mars, you better start fucking breathing deep and meditating for a minute, man, because you ain't getting there in a tin can.
Ah, damn it. And then I projected back in time to Mars when they still had a civilization, and I became king of the Martians.
Yes, me, Abraham Lincoln.
John Carter, but good guess.
I mean, yeah. You're right.
Oh, boy.
Speaking of Carters, is Jimmy Carter still alive? Can we check?
He's dead.
He's actually running for president starting today. Only had one
but
term.
Also dead.
Well, he's not awake every day now, but when he's awake, he'll be a great president.
That's better than Biden. Biden's not awake most of the time.
Jimmy Carter is I think Jimmy Carter's dead and they're just not telling us because they don't want us to be sad.
But what they don't want is the common man to be sad, and they don't want CMN to be happy.
You know, what would be a real showstopper for this year is if we got a cold call, Democratic, union busting, Jimmy Hoffa from the dead says, make me president. I'll bust up these swamps. That's what I'm hoping for.
Sure. Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm down.
Hi, I'm Johnny Francis. And if elected, I will drain this swamp and bust these unions.
I will drain my septic tank into the public street, and it'll be an official act, so you cannot charge me with it. And who's going to clean up this mess? I don't know. That's your job. Oh, man. God damn it. There you go. That is our 6-month allotment of Johnny Francis content. And it's for a poopy joke, a duty joke.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Oh, man. What other news do we have that's worth talking about?
The video gaming teenager social media influencer becomes first Catholic millennial saint.
Those are just words you just said. Those are just
Italian teenager Carlo Acutis, or however you say it, will become the Catholic Church first millennial saint after his cause for canonization was approved by church authorities. This man was, they say he was the first millennial, but also part of the process is that you have to have been dead for a certain amount of time. I believe he died at like 15, something like that.
Yeah, he was pretty young from what I remember.
Yeah, he was nicknamed God's influencer. He used a lot of social media and stuff like that. But, he was a kid. He was what you would imagine a 15-year-old kid was like, despite the staunch Catholic upbringing. He seemed like, I don't know what miracles got attributed to him, because you have to have at least 2 miracles. They were recognized by the Pope. He said they counted. So I don't know if it was like, oh man, my antivirus updated on its own. Praise God. Or like, I don't know what.
Look,
but like
Pope Francis, I made TikTok give up its ownership from the Chinese. And he's like, it's a miracle.
Wait, does this feel like pandering? Like, oh, look, we got a millennial.
I mean, kind of, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Well, but that's all the Catholic Church has done since like when did fucking Benedict stamp down? I mean, you don't have to give me an actual date, but you know what I mean? Like literally since Benedict has stepped down, it's felt like the Catholic Church has been pandering to like try to get people to come back.
Yeah.
Like, we're sorry we let them touch all the kids.
But hey, we're really cool and hip and like TikTok and the Chinese now. It's like,
what's the joke about like, oh, this isn't going to fix the birth rates, Mr. Japanese Prime Minister?
oh, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Like,
It's almost like that. It's like, this isn't going to fix the declining congregation or membership in the church.
you know what does fix that shit though? Food. Did you know that there are I think the number is 3 Taiwan, like Thai places in Alaska? Do you know why there is? Because Thailand has like an outreach program that effectively is intentionally trying to monopolize Thai flavors so that they can do their exports of their very specific things globally.
That's fascinating.
So
That's
they put
a
it
bit
in
like
Alaska?
Well, not just Alaska, but the idea is like the ratio. It's kind of like what Chinese immigrants.
It's like how Starbucks used to like bust up with like everywhere because they were trying to squeeze all the other coffee shops out. They're like, if we just put Thai food we put Taiwanese food everywhere. Wait, is it Thai? No,
No,
Taiwan.
I
You
keep
said
doing it wrong
Thailand.
too. But it's Thai food, Thailand. Yeah.
Yeah, Thailand. So yeah, if we just put Thai restaurants everywhere, then we'll be able to always have somewhere to export our shit to.
Yeah, I mean, and it's working fantastically because now Thai is like a standard culture
Thai food's
staple here.
Thai food is absolutely delicious. So yeah,
it is.
like,
It's
I'm-
amazing.
yeah.
We had it the other day.
It is, and I don't mean this in any racist sense, but it is Chinese food 2.0 for America.
Oh yeah, like in
Oh,
what
right,
Chinese takeout used to sort of represent.
Yeah.
It's almost like
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah,
same business model though. It's the idea of like globalization through food and commerce.
I mean, who's going to say no to like a gold curry.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, and especially if it's good, and it's 9 times out of 10, even bad Thai food's good. So,
Yep. And that makes me think a little bit of the I think it was in Japan actually. The idea of like coffee wasn't selling in Japan. So what they did was that they started making like coffee flavored candies and stuff like that to get the kids.
Yep.
Because then as the kids grew up, they would associate the flavor of coffee with like their childhood,
Yeah. No, it makes total sense.
which is like horrifying when you think about it. I associate the flavor of coffee with my childhood because I just remember being a small child sitting at my desk in the mine going, how am I going to make these deadlines and chugging coffee?
How am I going to make all these shoes
Yeah.
in these mines where we mine shoes?
The shoe mines.
Shoe mines.
Isn't shumai a dish?
Shumai.
Are we back on food again? God damn it. We were talking about the Pope, I remember.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean to
So
go
anyway,
off the tangent on the food thing. It's just that it's pandering, and they're doing it in all the wrong ways. If they want to make people fucking love the church, they got to let him drink his blood a little bit more and get some more of those crackers. Maybe doll them up with some fucking truffle sauce or something. You know?
Oh, you
The
know,
minute,
so Taco Bell, right, had just put out the Cheez-It, what you call it?
Oh yeah, the Crunch Wrap.
The
Yep,
Crunch
yep.
Wrap.
Yep.
They should do a deal with like Cheez-Its, right?
Jesus
For, like, the-
wafer. Yeah.
Yeah, Cheez-Its.
literally just Cheez-Its of Nazareth.
All you got to do is get a priest on that
Yeah.
fucking assembly line, give him a little haha, and then stamp a cross on it, and you're done.
Yeah, right. You make $1 million.
Make $1 million, make 1 million more Catholics. Maybe some of them diddle some kids. Who knows?
Actually, you know what? If they were really smart, you know what they would do? Because they got Pope Francis. Like, hi, I'm Pope Johnny Francis. There we go. That's your allotted Johnny Francis content for like 2 years now.
So now on one hand, we see the Catholic Church is making a concerted. Now, although actually in a weird way, though, when you think about it, in the same way that like folk saints sort of will take on a life of their own, but in a way they can often represent a greater example of sort of the living tradition of a religion. Having a millennial, having a young saint. I know there are some younger ones too, but you know, generally you think of like even saints as, you know, you think of them as as old clergymen who did something good, whatever. But like, so a young kid, and then also he seems to be associated with technology, the internet, that sort of thing. He, in a way, is sort of a modern mutation of what a saint might be.
Do you think he like remembered the Facebook password for the church, and that's why he that's the miracle that he did? Pope Johnny Francis, you forgot your own password again, you silly.
He
goof.
said, "No, that's your job."
That's your
He says,
job.
"Oh yeah, you're right." And he types it in. And he's like, thanks, kid."
Danny
I'll make you a
Elfman's Oingo
saint.
Boingo 1 2 3 4 is my favorite song.
All right.
Password 1 2 3.
So now we see the modern end of it, and then also the Vatican excommunicates former ambassador to the U.S. and declares him guilty of schism.
Oh, well, it sucks to suck, buddy.
And this was like so now not only are they're bringing in the hip young saints, and they're kicking out the old fogies.
And they're doing it in old style
Because
too. For schism?
Yes, schism, for trying to causing a break in the church.
How dare they?
Carlo Mario Vajano.
Yeah, I could have
Or
told you that from the very
Vigano.
beginning
Yeah.
if you told me their name from the if you just said that name about yeah, okay. Yeah, that's not a Catholic. That's not a fucking
The conservative became one of Pope Francis' most ardent critics, symbol of the polarized Catholic Church in the United States and beyond. So essentially, this was somebody who was a much more traditional Catholic, and he did not like a lot of the hip new spangled stuff, like saying that we shouldn't beat gays in the head with a tire iron because it's shaped like a cross. You know, like these
only use sickle-based things.
It's kind of crazy because like I didn't know that excommunications were really something that happened anymore.
What do? Do they take like your Catholic card and like put you on
You
Gilligan's
are
Island?
like it's literally kicking you out of the church. You cannot. The idea that because the Catholic Church is one big unified. Every single Catholic church you walk into is part of it. So you're kicked out of all of them.
That's wild.
The idea is that now, like, I don't think they put your photo at the front of every church and say, like, don't let this
That's what I
guy
was gonna say.
in.
Like, where's the list of excommunicados?
Yeah, but like you're not supposed to engage with the church at all after this. And I suppose, I think somebody said, like, does this mean like he went to hell? Like he's going to go to hell now? And it's like, I don't think I think the actual official party line of the Catholic Church is actually a lot more chill these days. Maybe like back in the, a couple hundred years ago, that was like, you're kicked out of the church and we're the only church that's correct. So yes, you are going to hell. But I think now it's a bit more. But either way, they're out of communion with the church because you have incurred the wrath of the Pope.
Oh no, not
So,
the freaking Pope.
Well, the difference is, like, if you get defrocked, right, where they say you're not a fucking priest anymore, they can't. I think you have to go through a lengthy process to become a priest again. If in this case, they could excommunicate you and then hope that you change your ways and repent and come back to the fold. So he could, in theory, be like, Pope Francis, I'm so sorry. Let me kiss your ring. And then they can let him back in. So I think technically this is kind of a lighter measure than it could be.
This is a slap of the Catholic ruler is what it is.
Yeah, but like he's being all, what's the term for it? Like a secaventist or whatever. I can never pronounce it.
A martyr.
Properly. Well, there's like a whole sect of Sedevacantism. There's a whole string of Catholicism that's like, ever since Vatican II, it's all been bad, and the Pope ain't really the Pope, so there's no real Pope. Like Mel Gibson's dad was one of them or some shit. Yeah,
Well,
like so there's a whole, so this isn't anything new. Like there's plenty of times Catholics just being tradcasts are like, no, we're not dealing with this new stuff. This guy's just being, honestly, kind of even, he's like the Trumpy version of that one, where he's just like, the deep state has taken over the church and given us a pope that doesn't immediately say that gay people burn in hell.
Well, he also wanted you to take the COVID vaccine. So, like, clearly Pope Francis is a Fed.
Yeah, and ACAB.
Yep.
All cops are
Bishops.
Yeah.
All cardinals are bishops.
It's just, I think it's kind of funny. I just didn't realize that was something that happened anymore. I won't say the death knells are like, oh man, organized religion is on the way out, but it's something that is it used to be like excommunication was something that had like not just huge personal ramifications, but like political ramifications and everything else. But the Catholic Church just, I don't want to diminish the amount of wealth and influence that the church has, but it's just, for most of us, we don't have to worry about it. I mean, I got raised Catholic, so if I got excommunicated, like my dad would probably be pretty upset. He'd be like, God dang it, how'd you do that? What the hell? And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. He's the anti-pope. I know.
He's a fucking wackadoo. I know.
Yeah, but like, other than that, I'd go on doing everything I do. I just keep making the joke. It's like, Discordians get around this by just making everybody the Pope.
I'm the freaking Pope.
What else we got? Those were just two fun Catholic ones.
Did you guys hear about the Magick sword in France that disappeared?
No.
The what?
So there's like there's this sword that was up in a, what was it? I believe it was wedged in a high rock wall is what they describe it as. It appeared 1300 years ago, right? And there's like a semi-legendary knight called Roland who wielded this sword, and there's like a big epic poem about it, all that kind of stuff. And it just kind of disappeared.
Huh.
Just gone.
I bet you it's someone lavishes house.
No, it's in the hands of a brave and noble warrior coming to save us from a coming cataclysm.
Oh God, Trump has
No,
the
it's
sword.
the new king of France. He's gonna go like to Macron's office and be like, "Sir, I have the sword. Believe you need to step down." I'm just saying, if you hear about Emmanuel Macron getting like stabbed to death, you know who did it, and he's the once and future king of France.
What makes this sword magic exactly? Just that it mysteriously showed up, and
It was
then
supposedly given to Roland by either an angel or Charlemagne. I can't remember which.
I believe an angel.
Charlemagne
it's
isn't
the
real.
sword of flames, isn't it?
Oh, like the Archangel's blade? That would be way cool.
Yes, an angel gave the sword to Charlemagne, who then gave it to Roland.
Well, that Charlemagne is not real because, as we know, the phantom time hypothesis says that they made that shit up, yo.
They made that shit
So
up. It's stupid,
who'd the angel really give it to?
Some Russian guy, I guess.
My dad.
My dad. If this ended up in the hands of some schmuck who's just like, oh yeah, it's cool, it's a neat sword, that's one thing. But like, if imagine you're a spooky woo woo, and you got your hands on the Magick angel sword that's been plugged into the side of a cliff for 1,300 years, like that has got to be even just on the idea of like the impact of like how magical that must feel in your hands. It's like, golly, like what are you doing with it?
I mean, again, I'd be going to Emmanuel Macron and telling him I'm taking it. It's mine now. I got the sword.
Kickathia will rise again.
You're getting the shit kicked out of you saying, oh man, if only I had learned to actually use the sword.
No, that's the thing. It's like a 1,300-year-old sword that's been out in the elements this whole time. Here's the thing. It probably rained really hard and the shit finally disintegrated.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, watch them be like, we did forensic studies on the metal, and it turns out the rust around it's just all of the metal.
Oh, well, that's even better because then you go up to Macron and you just go like pocket sand, except it's pocket sword.
Pocket sword, little tiny
and
fragments of sword.
The dusty fragments going directly into his eyes. But then it's also it's the flaming sword of the angel. So when you do it, it just like
it's just sick as fuck. Yeah.
Oh man. If this was maybe 50, 60 years ago, this is like the type of thing that goes missing and then we just find it in some like random rich dude's collection and he's like, oh, I have no idea how that ended up there. I mean, it was just, it just got sold to me by somebody.
Is it valuable? I have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, I have no. Yeah. Where, you said, in a rock in France.
Oh, how interesting. Well, check out this is from the movie Jurassic Park. It's a Barbasol can, but if you look closely, it's actually got.
And here's my actual dinosaur.
Anyway, don't mind them. Those are my slaves. Let's continue.
The Earth's core is slowing down, and it's slowed down so much that now it's changed direction.
Hell yeah, brother.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I knew I was feeling a little off. My mercury was all fucking Gatoraded up.
So the inner core of the Earth, we were never actually 100% that it moved at all. And now it seems that we've been able to confirm the rotation speed and direction and everything else. And we've also discovered that it's slowed down comparatively. And we have defined the bigger thing is that it's like we kind of speculated that it moved and this is how we thought it moved. And now we're seeing that it seems to be following a cycle by which the core will speed up and move in a certain direction and it will slow down again. And at this point, it's actually moving in the opposite direction of what it normally does. And I think stuff like this is really interesting on that fringe science sort of way, like how you look at solar cycles and how they like the circuit theory, I think is what it is, or segment theory, the segment hypothesis. That's the one that I'm thinking. How the idea of you can follow pop trends based on the solar cycles and things like that. And I really do. I guess maybe that it does go a little like astrology type thing, but I guess when you think about the idea of like the Earth's core, you're on the Earth. You're right here, and the effects that the movement of the core might actually have on a very subtle or a less understood way. It could be interesting, and the idea that it does, like, it is going to speed up again. It's like I'm wondering if maybe if we figured out the pattern of the cycles, maybe we can see what's going on during the slow periods. Maybe it's like maybe we're all going nuts.
Yeah, maybe so.
So my only problem with this, right? How does the Earth have a core if it's flat? Do you think of that, science man?
Oh shit, you're right. Fam.
Yeah, and like what's the core going to do about the 3 elephants and then the turtle?
Yeah, I think of that. Wait, is that the core? Oh no, did the turtles stop moving? Well, they move very slowly. Are we sure they're just not? Oh, they are slowing down. Oh no!
Oh shit!
It's real. It's real. The science is real.
And they don't forget That's a little thing they don't tell you about tortoises. It's like an elephant, but worse. And I won't elaborate.
And I won't elaborate because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I made myself laugh at it. I went, and no, we're not going any farther.
Now, I do like that so far they said it's like, all right, it seems to be that it's a 70-year cycle where it will speed up again. And we're not really sure how it's going to speed up again. So I just like to think that it's almost like it's God who reaches into the core and just like gives it a little slap and makes it speed up again, like you do with like the rolly ball at the arcade.
It's just a guy going.
But no, I can't wait to figure out that the slowing of the Earth's core causes a geomagnetic interference, and it's gonna fucking fry our brains and wake us up to the impossible revelations of the great old ones that are beneath us. And that's why the core is slowing down, because they're waking up.
Turns out capitalism only works best when we're in the fast period of the core spinning.
Oh my God.
Oh no. Please tell me that, because if that means that shit'll speed up again and maybe I can like own a house eventually.
Maybe I could like get a stick of gum or something. I don't know.
I can put that down payment on that gumball that I've wanted.
All right, so 1954 would be the last time it slowed down.
Only you can help speed up the planet by supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/CMN News for real this time.
Yeah, but I know we say that a lot, but like for real, this time, if you donate $5, we will speed up the rotation of the Earth's core. That is totally something within our power.
And yeah, it sounds like we're giving you a lot, and it's because we are. So
it's because we love you and we want you to be happy.
So you need to like choice. First of all, you need to like fucking, you know,
pay up.
You know, you fucking know.
Is that enough news, or we need to end it on something else?
No, I honestly I can't think of anything that's gonna beat slapping the Earth's core like the trackball.
Nah, I don't think anything will beat that. So.
Through the awesome powers of the time-binding circuit known as live recording, we're back with some addendums.
That's right, folks. So much has happened in the time since we originally recorded that. We obviously got to talk about some stuff here. When we last left you, mere moments ago in this episode, Joe Biden had a pretty bad debate performance, and it was looking like he might be out.
I was busy saying, ain't no way they're going to change horses.
Yeah.
I was too busy saying, ain't no way they're going to change horses this close to the election, that I didn't see the genuine knee-jerk reactionary response that everybody had of, oh, bum, he's an old geezer. You knew he was an old geezer. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But they actually, somebody threw their weight around, probably Nancy Pelosi. She probably like took him backstage and slapped him around.
Barack Obama has been blamed as well. Chuck Schumer. I mean, obviously the donors as well.
Oh man, the donos.
The donos. You don't get them donos in chat. You don't get to be president, Joe.
Yep. Biden on his Twitch stream. But all right, I've got some donos to read. Boo, get off the stage. $5 for that one. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
obviously we covered the Trumpster getting shot at too, but so the timeline goes, bad debate, Trump gets his ear pierced, Joe Biden drops out. Obviously now Kamala Harris has been the nominee after all of that mess.
And has even just announced their VP pick. Tom Waits. I think Tom Waits was his name.
Tom Waits.
I don't know. I've never heard of him.
Would have been a great pick. No. Tim Walz. Tim Walz, High Pontiff, 9th degree of the Minnesota governor, Tim Walz.
Tom, you wanted to say Tom Waits again?
Yes, I did. God.
Tony Waltz, the Michigan superintendent, Tony Waltz.
What do we really have to say here? Like, we definitely didn't expect them to actually
like
get
him,
rid of.
And Oh yeah.
Well, I was
I'm sorry.
saying
I was already jumping right to
Tommy
I was jumping
Boy.
right to.
You're jumping right to Tommy Boy. What can we really say at this point? I didn't expect them to actually get rid of Biden. I thought they should if they wanted to win, but I didn't think they'd do it. I thought that they just liked losing, to be honest.
It's definitely uncharted territory. That's what I'll say. And if the last, we'll say last, 8 years have really taught us is that we're in uncharted waters as far as American politics now. We've seen a former president get a mugshot. We've seen him get hit by a magic bullet. We've watched the current president who was saying the whole time, "Nah, I'm running. Nah, I'm running. Nah, I'm running." Had a little bit of a stutter during a debate, and called one of the moderators "mommy," and now he's dropping out. So and now we might get our first female president. It's almost like it feels like a weird domino thing. Like kid doesn't study how to use an actual scope, and now we got our first female president. Who would have guessed?
It's truly like a comedy of errors kind of thing right now. Because if Trump didn't get shot at, I don't know if Biden would have gone out.
Yeah, that's very true.
If Biden didn't get COVID, I don't know if he went out. And overall, it just seems like a very odd way for us to go into this election that was looking like a really big nothing burger. And now, for whatever reason, people are really excited about Kamala Harris. Like, really excited. Like, people that I didn't...
She could be our first female president. I mean, that's kind of a big deal.
I suppose, but do you think that was part of the move to go with Kamala anyway? It was like, let's try to bring the Barack Obama energy?
Yeah, definitely. I think that was part of probably why she polls so well.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot to say, I guess. I've talked about this before. It's like there is that notion of like people that seem almost invincible because they are protected by a sort of cult of personality, egregoric fervor. I think Biden might have been a case of like watching somebody's aura dwindling and dwindling and dwindling, and he was just holding out. And that debate, that's when he went into the red of like, your goodwill is over. Like Biden, and you can say what you want, but I think Biden genuinely got a lot of hype and a lot of goodwill just on the grounds of like not being Trump and being able to pull off a win when a lot of people thought he wasn't going to make it. But let's face it, he's an old geezer. And even if you don't think he's cognitively deficient, and we can have that argument whenever.
Well, they're certainly not saying it now.
Yeah, well, they definitely gave him the appearance of it. He was like wandering, and he was getting distracted by an ice cream cone, and he fell off a bike, and he fell down some stairs, and he beat Medicaid. He beat Medicaid.
He was the first black woman to serve with the first black president. Like, he's just take your pick. We have the greatest hits, I guess. That's all we'll have is the greatest hits and the memories.
Well, my problem is that the thing that the zinger of like things that Biden said, I will always hold on to the tax return thing when he's like, when? Inshallah? And it's like, my brother, you have seen the light of Allah.
It's funny that the Biden debate against Trump this time is like a dark inversion of the other one he had. Like,
he's on the night side of the tree now.
I mean, legitimately, think about it. Like,
that
we don't have the big screaming fight. No zingers.
They both look like goobers.
The one big attempt he had at like sticking it to him was them arguing about golf, which like takes it from being like, oh wow, check it out, he has seen the light of Allah, to like he is the whitest, oldest dude I've ever heard of in my life.
The only thing that we can really say about Biden at this point is you won't really be missed. He's still president for another what is it? Another 4 months, but and they're like World War III is about to break out again for reals this time. I mean, I know we said that last time earlier this year and later,
and every couple of months for like the last 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. But for realsies this time, super serial. Like this time it's going to be World War III. and he's president, and nobody gives a flying fuck.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at Kamala Harris.
I think probably the biggest disservice to all the news that we're updating here is just that we don't have anything worthwhile to say about Kamala. You know, it's like she's running for president.
What about her? She's the one.
She's the one they picked.
She is who you're probably going to vote for if you don't like Trump. That's basically what it is. You might be like, Democrats suck, but like just by they could have put up anybody, and you know what? That isn't fair. I have seen a renewed enthusiasm for Kamala Harris. I don't expect her to do anything substantial or really like, oh wow, she might really. But you at the very least, you can say I've seen some people going, you know what? I wasn't going to vote for Biden. I just absolutely say, hey, no, I wasn't going to do that. But she will get me off of my ass and Pokemon go to the polls, you know? So that's something.
Yeah, fucking cares. Fucking, what are they going to do?
Gonna give you a noogie, probably. There you go. What other updates are we? Now, you know, the one thing that gets me is that it's been like, we actually hit a snag on getting the episode out. So we were talking about the Boeing thing, but I already knew in my head when we were talking, it's like, it doesn't matter if this episode comes out a month after we recorded it.
Yeah, those
Boeing folks are still, those astronauts are still going to be in that, those astronauts are still going to be up there.
Right. 5 hours ago, right? You ready for it? 5 hours ago.
Hit me.
Boeing Starliner. NASA astronauts may be stuck on space station until next year, space agency says.
You're trapped in the rocket.
We're definitely not stuck.
R. Kelly's Trapped in the Rocket. Play the music. You're trapped in the rocket.
3 o'clock in the morning as the rays from the sun awake me. I'm stretching and yawning, stuck in a tube with food also in tubes. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was doing there.
I had another drink of that gin.
I was thinking about Trapped in the Closet the other day too.
We're never look. He just need to stay. Put R. Kelly up on the space station because at least he won't be able to get anybody. Trap him up there. Man. This is some real egg on the face of Boeing, but they're so large that it's like nobody's gonna care. The modern state of reading and keeping up with the news is just hearing about atrocities committed by people and groups that have gained so much power that they're insulated from the consequences of their own actions. That's the rub. And then watching people who haven't attained that, and then it's like a man said we shouldn't pump babies full of formaldehyde, and he was tasered and stomped out for 45 minutes. And then when people protested tasing and stomping, they were hit with a tear gas grenade. Law to be introduced to prevent people from complaining.
Yeah. You want to hear the worst part?
Sure.
This also completely undermines the point that we made where we were under the impression that like, oh no, they gotta be like just making sure that they're not actually stuck up there. I think they're actually stuck now.
Yeah, this might be one of those like
they're definitely stuck because check this out. The space agency has been examining whether the 2 stranded astronauts could come home on board of a different craft in February of next year. Whose craft do you think that they might be suggesting?
Is it SpaceX?
Yeah. There you go, folks.
They're stuck.
They're stuck.
They're never gonna. They're never coming back.
Elon, save us. Okay.
Oh no. Oh God.
Ooh.
That would add to the list of times that Elon said that he could fix a problem and or save people's lives and then didn't.
He's gonna send him a gift card.
He's gonna send the high speed bullet train rail into space.
He's checking out. He's like, I can't get you off the station, but I can make a hyperloop so you can go get around the station faster. which will be very helpful.
It'll be
for how
it'll be built in
little
20. It'll be built in 20 years.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Well.
Oh, they're fucked. My heart actually goes out. My heart goes out to them and their families because they are going to. They're going to be up there so long. They're going to come down with Fantastic Four powers.
Oh man.
Oh my god. They look. Here's actually what I would suggest. Okay, somebody on the next supply shipment needs to send them like Damien Eccles high magic or something. If it can get him out of a prison cell, maybe it can get you onto a tube going back down to Earth. All right. That's my only advice, dude.
Man.
Really, look, when desperate times, it is too late for art and science. Now all you've got is magic.
Wow. Well, do we have any other updates we can talk about?
Did they find the sword?
Signs point to no. Although I did learn that apparently that sword is just a replica.
What's a replica of a sword?
Yeah.
What? Well, like, wait, what do you mean it's a replica of a 1,500-year-old sword? Or what was it, 1,200? 1,300?
I think it was 1,300-year-old sword.
How do you have a replica of a 1,300-year? Well, I get that. I understand that you can make like replicas of like this is what this really old thing would look like. But like, why was it in the side of a cliff? Was this like a bit? Why was there a replica of this sword in the side of a cliff? Like for real, somebody explain that to me.
I'm not sure at all. But hang on, we should have read this on the damn episode. In Rocamadour, in the lot department, whatever, that's French, so I'm pronouncing that completely wrong. I'm sorry, folks. I didn't get no book learnings. A local legend holds that instead of dying with Durendal, which is the name of the magic French sword, hidden under his body, Roland called on the Archangel Michael for assistance and was able to throw the sword several hundred kilometers across the border into France, where it came to rest in Rocamadour, which I'm, again, pronouncing incorrectly. There it was deposited in the Chapel of Mary, but was stolen by Henry the Young King in 1183. Successive replicas have been stolen. Most recently, a sword fashioned from sheet metal was embedded in a cleft in a cliff wall, secured with a chain. The sword was reported stolen in June 2024.
Oh, so really what this is a long-standing tradition of stealing the magic sword.
Yeah.
Oh, I never mind. At first, I thought, I was like, oh man, it turns out that story was actually lame, but now it's great again.
Yeah.
The time-honored tradition of stealing Roland's magic sword. I love it.
Yeah, they need to just keep making more and like just every year
just
they get stolen.
And get fun with it. Make it so it's like make it so that when somebody steals it, there's no question which version, like which era this one was. Oh man, I got the steampunk sword. You know what? Listeners, tell us what version of the magic sword would you want, or which one you would steal. I would go with the Art Deco blocky sword. It looks almost like a Minecraft blade, but like, classier.
I would go with the like Salvador Dali surrealist one. It's just like a mustache.
No. It's like a regular sword handle, but by the time you get up the entirety of the blade, it's a fish head.
Yeah. Actually, I'm kind of into that.
And the fish head has a mustache.
Okay. Do we have any other updates? Archbishop Vigano, who was excommunicated, he's still just being a Vigano.
I just realized, isn't that the name of the bad guy from the second Ghostbusters?
That's actually kind of fucked up because that guy too wanted a small child.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah, I don't have nothing new on him. I did find out something did you know there have only been 4 people excommunicated since Vatican II?
Really? Who are the others?
Let me find them again. They are Ngo Dinh Thuc, very big Vietnamese archbishop. he was one of those sedevacantist, and he was actually excommunicated twice, which is
wow. So like came back and
then fucked off again.
Yeah.
And he is also believed to have reconciled right before he died. So he died in the good graces. He didn't go to hell. And the other ones are Marcel Lefebvre, I think is how you say this. Maybe.
Sure. I believe you.
I wonder what he was excommunicated for. Let's find out.
He brought peanut brittle, even though he knew some of the other bishops had allergies.
Oh wow, he consecrated a bunch of people and was told not to.
That sounds mean. Why don't you want people consecrated?
I think that's all the updates we got. And unless you got anything else you want to say, co-host, we're gonna take you back to the past.
No, I think I'm good. I mean, if by chance you haven't listened to us talk about the Trump shooty McBang Bang, you should check out the Broken News special that is up there. It's a fun little chat about details as it happened. So yeah, impending doom in the election, impending doom of World War III. We learned something cool about swords, and Elon Musk is going to save the space station. Yeah, what else could you ask for as far as your news? Oh, well, here, I got you then. Headlines.
Oh God, no.
Oh, RFK killed a bear.
Oh, yeah, that was it. We didn't update the RFK thing. Man, isn't it wild that in a sea of presidential candidates that are absolutely insane and all the horror things going around, RFK still has time to do something completely fucking unhinged? Like, yeah, I threw that bear into the...
Oh man! All right.
What's the story? He like killed a bear and then he couldn't skin it, so he was
I think he said he found it. It was like a bear. It was like a bear cub, and he said that like he had found. I think he was saying it was like roadkill, and he was going to take it home to dress it, and he was like, "Man, I ain't got time," and he just hurled that bitch into a park.
What a fucking madman!
What a fuck. Like, I guess we know that he doesn't have it in him to be a serial killer because he's gonna get bored and just like he'll pull the knife out and be like, oh man, I gotta clean the body. Oh man, but my brain worm is acting up. I gotta go watch some Paw Patrol to calm down. And then he's gonna just leave his evidence all the way. Here you go.
God, man. All right. Well, with that, we will take you back to this episode already in progress.
We're going to take you back to the past to hear the shitty news that sucks ass.
Oh my God. After specials, we always try to have kind of like chill out episodes where we don't do too much. We don't talk too heavy. We just kind of enjoy ourselves, have some laughs. So we're going to do one of our favorite recurring segments, As Above, Five Below. For those that don't know what this is, it's where we shamelessly rip off a podcast that we like, and we play a game where one of us buys a bunch of cheap magic crap from a thrift store. In this case, the actual namesake of the segment, I went to a Five Below. And we buy some cheap magic crap, we show it to everyone else, and we make some people guess of how much we would spend on it. That sound fun for you guys, huh? You want to have a couple yucks looking at some cheap magic shit?
I am beyond psyched.
I'm so jazzed.
Okay, cool.
I'm jizzed.
First off, I sent a handful of items that I did not actually buy into the Discord.
Oh yes, so Mystica Sage and Stone Smudge Kit with natural gemstone. Guys, why are we not making any money?
Because we can't ethically source our gemstones.
Say that again. Ethically sourcing a gemstone? We're not Elon's daddy.
Let's see what the back has to say. A semi-precious gemstone, a selenite crystal wand, a Palo Santo stick, and black sage smudge wand.
So a piece of driftwood and
a salt lick,
and
a booger, and something that
shit.
your mama will, something your mama will mistake for weed and then kick you out of the house again.
For our listeners, I'll describe it a little bit for you. It's literally the cheapest plastic container you've ever seen in your life, and the shittiest smudge stick. The shittiest, like it looks like a splinter. It's like a very big splinter. And then what I can only assume is a plastic crystal and a black stone. What is selenite? Is that one of those things that's not really like a stone, but we
No.
pretend it is?
Selenite's a one. It's a very plentiful. That's what I'll say. It's a very
It's a type of gypsum.
It's easy to get your hands on, and then
Oh yeah, okay.
You can actually synthesize it incredibly easily.
Okay, got it. So this is probably shit made in a factory.
Yeah, very, very likely. It's great for grounding, though. Anybody remembers that shit?
And if you need to charge your crystals,
Yeah, you could
Mhm.
probably fit that in your urethra, I guess, right?
at least the stick.
Yeah, it's
You
just
got to work up
it's
to the
it's
fucking
exactly what
selenite.
you'd think. It's the type of thing that like gets a lot of people's hackles raised up over the ideas of cultural appropriation and just overall sort of garbage and like. And here's the thing: my biggest issue with like smudging and stuff like that isn't so much that it's a closed practice. Like I understand that it is, and that you really shouldn't just be like bagging on something that really doesn't using something for mostly in ways that are not appropriate to the context that the practice came out of. But on the other level, it's like there's just so many other things you can do. It's like just when people talk about like, oh, like it's cleansing the energies and stuff like that. It's like you can literally burn just about anything. You honestly, like here, take this. Write the names of the things that you don't like and that are annoying the hell out of you and you're trying to cast out of your house, and then just burn that piece of paper.
Yeah.
You will feel better.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. But like, yeah, you can literally burn 9 times out of 10. It's like whatever incense or whatever thing that you have around the house is going to be just as easily applicable to what you're doing. And then there's also ways of cleansing and of these sort of energetic cleansings that don't involve burning anything. One, I saw one suggestion that was like Jordan Peterson, clean your room, bucko, which is like, I don't think that it's necessarily the same thing, but the idea of opening up the windows and airing out your home or something like that is like can be just as effective. And it's like, well, if the idea is that you're doing something to interact on the spiritual level while engaging in a physical act, how is it really that different? Unless you believe that for some reason it's only this one particular plant or maybe these one or two particular plants that scare ghosts away.
All right. The only other thing I got of note of here is that they just say semi-precious gemstone. Like they don't even tell you what it is. They're just like, it's a gemstone.
Sort of precious.
It's kind of precious. It's not super precious, but it's kind of precious.
It's sort of up there, It's not like the movie Precious,
Yeah.
but
I also like that they basically go like, yeah, you know what the Palo Santo stick's good for? It's good for like removing stress and, getting rid of cleaning out stuff. And then what the Black Sage Smudge Wand is good for? It's like good for like clearing negative energy and, like bringing out stuff. You know what the Selenite Wand's good for?
is it good for grounding? Like I
Is it-
said,
It's good to cleanse. It's to purify your space and cleanse the aura. Out of the 3 things they give you, it's all about like just getting rid of shit. Like get rid of all the bad energy.
These are all
Get rid of
bad
all the
mojos.
bad vibes.
Yeah, we got to get all these bad mojos out.
And if you are the kind of person that buys this shit, you probably have lots of bad energy because you make poor decisions. So how much would you guys pay for a Mystica stage and smudge kit?
I won't tell you how much I'd pay for it, but I'll tell you what I think it ran. $5 easy for that.
Okay. G?
That's a $5. I'm going to play the game price right though. $6.
Ooh.
There is actually a section in Five Below for beyond 5, so that's not even an out of pocket guess.
Okay. So next we have some Taurus, ginger, and tube rose incense. Once again, we have like a basically it's like a pink slip that says Taurus on it, and it's got the sign on it, and it says ginger and tube rose. And then on the back it says Taurus incense, stubborn, practical, loyal. And then it tells you how to use it. It tells you to light the incense, set an intention, blow out flame, and place the stick in an ash catcher dish.
Benares Beads Limited.
Well, I mean, I don't really have that much bad to say about this. It's just a blend.
Incenses are,
Yeah, I like incenses overall. There's always sort of the astrological and planetary associations that you can make with certain smells and whatever. So it's like, this is fine.
I'm not a Taurus, and I don't have significant placements for Taurus or anything like that. So I'm just assuming this was one of the signs, or maybe the sign that wasn't getting sold in other places. So it ended up
Virgo
here.
was also there. Yeah, Virgo was there, and I can't remember. There was one other one that was there, but Taurus
just
was the
Earth
first one I
signs.
saw, and they were all pretty much exactly this.
Set an intention, blow out flame, and place the stick in an ash catcher dish.
That's the thing that I'm not quite sure about, where it's just like you just light some incense and then set an intention. Like, is that a good enough magical act for most people?
It's very weak. It's like how we talked about prayer. It's like prayer can be used for magical purposes, but it's a very weak form of magic. And I'd say like the candle, the lighting the candle, setting an intention, lighting an incense stick. It's like they can be small and sometimes they can be effective, but it's a very tenuous sort of magical practice. So, but
this was $1.
it's not that bad. Yeah, this was like a $2.
I think incense are so cheap to make that they can't even get away with anything above $1.
Okay. I've written it down. It is checked in. It is locked in. Do we want to go on to the next one? And I'm going to tell you that these are two different things, but they were both the same price. I just wanted to include both of them so you could see the goofy bullshit that they want to write on the back here.
Amaranth and mugwort.
Yeah, they're just dried herbs, and you get 6 grams. So keep that in mind. You get 6 grams, so you're not quite an eighth.
The spiritual properties of mugwort are believed to help enhance intuition, promote vivid dreams, and connect individuals with their inner selves and their spiritual realm. Mugworts can be used as an herbal energetic cleanse to purify sacred spaces, tools, and individuals for rituals or meditation. Some believe that working with the plant's energy can open one's third eye, chakra, and strengthen their intuitive gifts and energetic connections.
Yeah, so this is just a little plastic bag filled with mugwort.
It looks
kind of looks like cheap weed.
Yeah, it looks like skunka. It looks like brick. It looks like
the kind of shit that your buddy would sell you, saying it was some gas.
Yeah,
in like,
this that
2007.
That Gulf Chicho Chong shit. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. Like not even Cheech and Chong is Chicho Chong. It's those guys. And then amaranth, that looks pretty, but like also
it just kind of looks like some cheap ass flowers. What's the amaranth say? It's a dried amaranth carries spiritual significance as a symbol of immortality and resilience.
Oh, I want that one.
Used in various cultures for ritualistic purposes, it is believed to embody enduring life force and spiritual strength. The dried flowers are often utilized in ceremonies, prayers, and offerings to invoke blessings for longevity, prosperity, and spiritual vitality. Amaranth's presence in spiritual practices is thought to foster a connection with the eternal cycles of life and serve as a reminder of the unwavering nature of the human spirit amidst life's challenges. Didn't they just say the exact same thing like 4 different ways there?
Yeah, this is a bunch of
Like,
fodder.
Yeah, like also co-host, have you ever heard about using amaranth in anything?
No, I haven't. I'm actually looking up. Apparently, it was outlawed for in certain parts of no. It was outlawed for cultural reasons, where the Spanish outlawed the cultivation and keeping of amaranth because it was used in certain cultural rituals and stuff like that.
Oh, so this is legit that it was like a real thing that was used quite a bit.
Well, mugwort's got some certain, I can't say the exact science behind it, but there's enough people that say like, oh, it's good for this and this. It's like, it can't be entirely hokum.
No, I wasn't implying that. I'm just saying I personally had never heard of amaranth.
Yeah. Well, I hadn't either. I'll be honest, like I was looking at both of these and my brain's just going to like, these look like the aromatics that I would put in like some rice.
Yeah, that's like some like Bonsani stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amaranth definitely has like a touch of that kind of like maybe this could probably
like a
be
hibiscus
like
tea.
Apparently these are both very common for tea, and I'm assuming that that's what they want you to use these for.
I see.
Oh, I thought they wanted you to burn them.
Oh.
I mean, I don't fucking know. I can't really tell.
Yeah.
I don't think they tell you to do anything. They're just like, here's some fucking
I don't think they say
leaves,
do
you
anything
fucking
with
guys.
them. They have a dirty plant.
Here, enjoy. Do what you want with it.
I
It's
would
got
definitely
magic in it or
not
something.
like eat anything that I bought in a Five Below.
Why? They sell like a bunch of snacks. They don't look bad. Although like I'm kind of wondering what these.
I don't know. They look
things-
kind of fake to me, which is the other thing that worries me.
The mugwort
God.
does for sure.
So they're both the same price. So just tell me what you think one of them is worth.
$2.
$3.
I'll say 2 again.
Damn.
For 6 grams.
That's about $35 right there.
All right. Okay. We're in the last of the ones that I'm going to have to guys pictures for. So I just had to include this one because I thought it was like the stupidest thing I've seen in the spooky
A
section.
worry stone.
It's literally just a worry stone.
You don't like worry stones?
Hold the stone between your thumb and index finger, then rub your thumb into the impression in the stone. This action helps reduce stress. Like, for instance, where's all my money going when I buy stupid shit like this?
Well, worry stones aren't bad. I mean, they're just a fidget. They're
Yeah.
probably like one of the most
Well, that's what I'm
common
getting at,
fidgets
though.
ever.
Like, this is not like they're putting it with the rest of like the spooky magic stuff, and it's like, no, this is literally just a fancy fidget toy, and it's not even a fancy fidget toy because it's literally a rock. It's a rock.
This is what when what was the big scary but kind guy from the
Andre the Giant.
No, the Lemmy. Is it Lemmy?
Lenny
Lenny.
from Of Mice and Men.
This is if Lenny had a pet rock. It turns
Man, that
into a
would've worked
worry
out better
stone
for
because he
him.
fucking pets it too hard.
Oh wow.
I mean,
that's dark.
I don't know. This is probably not like I'll say $4, and it's actually I'll say $5.
I think it's $5 too.
And I don't think it's that bad, honestly. Like I don't
think as a product.
I have
it
a
is at
little-
all.
I have a little lapis worry stone that I use when I'm doing the because the medicine Buddha is the lapis lazuli Buddha. So like that, I'll just sit there while I'm doing mantra instead of like having like the beads or something. I'll just sit there like have the worry stone.
I mean, I don't think that a worry stone and selling one is like a bad thing. I think take umbrage with it being put in like the metaphysical spooky section.
but it's made out of quartz.
Right,
or-
but they're not selling it based on that. They're like, it just is worry stone. They don't say like fucking
Magic worry stone.
like meditation stone.
Oh, that's the fucking venture, guys. You just gotta CMN branded magic worry
meditation
stone.
rocks.
It's like the same packaging, but we just have like
Exact- magic on
magic
top
written
of
in
it.
like Sharpie.
Yeah.
Just put just stick the logo on it.
I
I
think
think we
it's-
charge
I-
$10 more for it.
I mean, like you're saying this all in jest, but I'm building the website right now. Here we go.
Bet. Okay, so G, I'm going to send you the photo of the next item
Okay.
because I have it in real life to share with co-host real quick.
Okay.
This
Oh, it's a little guy.
Is that like a cowboy hat?
Oh, but it's a ceramic cowboy
Yes,
hat.
it's a little porcelain
ceramic
cowboy
yeah, a
hat.
little porcelain cowboy hat.
This was in the magic section?
Of all the things you purchased today, this is by far the greatest.
Oh, it is an incense holder.
I retract my statement slightly.
You can't see it. You can't see it by the
I
photo.
thought it was a
but
salt
there
and
is
pepper shaker thing.
There is actually a little dip. There's actually a little notch in the
Oh
dead
yeah,
center
here
where you
I
can
have
put your
another. I got
incense
another
stick.
photo to show you with it
Ah, Kennedy,
Well,
why did you put the little
yeehaw.
cowboy hat on your little ding dong?
to make it look smaller.
The hat or the ding dong?
Yeah. So I didn't have any reason for buying this other than I was like, I need a little incense holder. Hey, it's a little hat.
I love that. That is such a good buy. That's $5 though for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely a 5. Are you going to do cowboy magic with this? Or are you going to invoke Judge Holden?
Now wait just a second there, partner.
I'm going to call up the rifleman.
Just me sitting there burning some fucking Santo Paulo, just going yeehaw.
All right.
Actually, this would have been very
Yeehaw.
appropriate given its color and its place as a cowboy hat. This would have been very good for the Taurus incense.
Oh yeah.
I would have gotten that
That
and
would have
burned
doubled
it in
down,
there.
yeah.
And my intention would be to be the rootinest, tootinest, shootinest, spooky woo-woo this side of the Mississippi.
I wanted to be co-host roundup. Co-host roundup. Da-da-da-da-da-da. All right. Well, fuck you guys.
I'm
then.
sorry. I was actually sitting here trying to think of a way to make like a co-host version of Bonanza, but I could barely remember the words.
Also known
to
as the
theme
perfect
song.
show possible ever made.
Here on the coast, we're sitting with the most. It's co-host. All right. Okay. I'm going to send you the next one, G. And I apologize that you cannot partake with us of this one. Because this is something that you eat.
Why? I mean, Kennedy, why is your penis still got a hat on? Sorry, I didn't mean to detonate
It's all right.
you like that.
Doxed me.
Oh my god, I'm gonna censor it now. I was gonna edit it out entirely, but now I'm gonna censor it. That's great.
Sorry.
Okay.
He said that so, but you're like, great. It was just so good. Great. Good.
All right, now
Okay, this is no. This is an ass pull, man. It's like Dungeons and Dragons. It is not. This isn't magic.
Cheating a little bit.
Well, so this
But
is
it
where
said
you go up to the
potion.
front of the counter and they've got like the someone made this and slapped someone else's shit on there and then they bought it kind of thing, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like the
you
Dragon
can
Ball Z
feel,
ones and the.
Yes, exactly. This was right next to a Dragon Ball Z one.
Yeah, honestly,
So
though,
for-
I love them because it's so jank. It like I keep and collect those because of how like they're just pressed on, like they're like vinyl stickers on top of other cans.
Oh right,
I
exactly.
like you think
Hang
you
on,
could peel this
so
back
we
and there's
gotta
going to be
tell the
something under
listeners
it.
what it is because
Exactly.
they're not seeing.
Oh
this.
right, yes. Yeah.
So this is a Dungeons and Dragons. What I guess it's a hero's potion of power. It I think it's either a soda or an energy drink. I can't really.
It doesn't
tell
really
which.
have any like denotions of energy about it.
It doesn't actually.
It's shaped like a Red Bull, but it doesn't actually have anything. It's got
Hold on,
lots
hold
of
on.
sugar.
How much caffeine does it have? In
I don't think it's got any caffeine.
It's caffeine free.
It's just sugar water, dog.
What?
You just bought carbonated fuzzy Wizard of the Coast drink.
This is this is going to be like a LaCroix.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna taste it and then I'm gonna give it a code.
Oh, it's gonna be sickly
and we'll
sweet.
tell
you
you.
know it.
And we're going to say what we think it tastes like at the same time.
Well, it's supposed to be cherry lime flavor, so it's just Citrix and fucking like a cherry flavor.
Kennedy, why is your penis still out?
Kennedy, you got two hats on your penis now?
Yeah, this just tastes like if you go to Sonic and get like the cherry limeade.
Yeah, like legit. That's exactly what it tastes like. The fact that it doesn't have any caffeine kind of confuses me because, like, why would you not bother?
But I'm
putting
peeling
caffeine
back the can and it literally says Joe Biden wake up juice.
It's what we knew all along. And it's the same picture. It's the same picture of a dragon fighting.
Except that the dragon is Donald Trump and
it's
Joe
like the
Biden
same
is
exact
holding
art. It just says Biden juice.
and Joe Biden is holding the sword from France. He had it. That's right. I had it the whole time, motherfuckers.
That's why I was under the weather. All this power that's been granted to me by the French.
I heard all y'all were talking shit. I only got two things to say. Pocket sword.
Pocket sword. Bam.
So
That's like a $1.50 to $2 purchase.
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah.
You know what? No, I'm gonna go highball a little bit. It's a $3 because it's a Wizard of the Coast. Like
The problem is
property
this is
thing.
definitely worth like $1.50 at most, but I bet it was like $3.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's got
you're
it's got
you're both
AVE
gonna go
energy. Like
you're both going with $3.
I think
No, I'll go with just to keep it different. I will go with $2.50.
Okie dokie.
that.
Do you want
like,
the rest
all,
of this?
all
'Cause
jokes
I'm
aside,
literally
though,
dr-
I'd
You
buy
can
that
have
every
it.
fucking
Okay.
day of the week. That's so fucking cool.
It did taste better than I thought it was. I thought it was going to taste like absolute dog
We need
shit.
more of this
It's just
design on
sugar.
all things. You know what I mean?
Oh
This
yeah, like
looks-
forget, it doesn't even have to be Dungeons and Dragons branded. Just like give me more things with like goofy.
Well, this
wizards
goes back
fighting
to
like-
what we
Yeah.
were talking about way long ago about like the resurgence of like airbrush wizard.
Oh
shit.
fuck yeah, dude! It's here and it's here to stay.
Last item, everybody. This is good because it's not something that you have to really be here to experience. You can just see the photo of it, and then I'm gonna spoiling it for everyone. Read you a bit about it.
Kennedy's penis for a third time.
Tiny hats and where to place them. That's the name of the book.
by Kennedy.
By Kennedy, you had time to write a book. Is that why the episodes are coming out so slow?
Hey, you don't talk about my friend that way. My friend, the podcast, CMS.
Ooh, the Encyclopedia of the Paranormal.
Oh.
An exploration of the unexplained forces that affect our world by Karen Farrington.
Oh, well, it's got a gray on it, first of all, listeners. So, it's got to be legit.
And Stonehenge.
And it's got, I think that's The Walking Dead.
Yep, those are zombos.
Those are zombies. And then on the left, it's a guy opening a door, and I believe he's about to tell us that they made it all up.
So, yeah, there's like just under 200 pages in this. It's about like, it's like one of those Scholastic book fair size books.
That's awesome.
I figure we just pick a couple random sections and we'd
Hold on, I
read
got
through
you.
'em.
I got my random number generator ready to go. All right, one sec. Tenuous surrealism. Oh, this is the word generator again. Fuck. No. 153. What's on page 153?
Okay, that's probably going to be like into a section, so we'll probably. Oh, actually, no, apparently not. Oh shit! Hell yeah, Atlantis.
Oh shit. Here we go.
Oh,
my
that's where they
favorite.
invented jazz music.
That is where they invented jazz music.
When it comes to discussing the ancient mystery of Atlantis, there are two opposing views. One holds that it was a great civilization from long ago, known and discussed among the ancients. The other insists it is a long-standing fabrication, a fictional island that represents a lost Eden. The most significant account of Atlantis is by the ancient philosopher Plato. Boo.
Boo, Plato. I like
Boo.
Sculpey. A Lego man myself.
In two stories called Critias and Timaeus. What the hell? Never mind. We're just skipping right past this. The skeptics claim that the entire account is a metaphor and that Plato is using Atlantis to illustrate the disastrous fate of corrupt regimes. Yet, significantly, Plato says more than once that the stories he recites are true.
Yeah, but Plato
he
like
would,
lies all
wouldn't
the
he?
time, though.
Well, he said they were real, man. Like, what else? What more do you want?
Him and
He said all
Aesop
that
are
shit
like
about
the
Socrates was real too,
Yeah.
didn't he?
Oh,
Aesop would never lie to me. Okay.
All right, so we have a section on ancient utopia. So it's just them describing what Plato says. Doomed civilization. They talk about how Plato says it fell to pieces. So where was it? For a long time, it seemed as if Plato must have been referring to the Minoan civilizations on Crete. This was named only relatively recently by an archaeologist, and no one knows what Plato's contemporaries would have called it. A colossal volcanic eruption on the island of Theria, 100 kilometers away from Crete, caused wholesale destruction in the region, but it did not obliterate the Minoans immediately. Archaeological evidence indicates they survived the tsunamis and the noxious sulfur clouds that must have followed the volcanic explosion, but fared poorly in the face of the ensuing climate change.
oh, now we know that this whole thing is a shill. Got an agenda. Climate change. But no, that's actually, I can't believe I've never, I don't know, maybe I just totally missed that. But it's like, yeah, I guess it would make sense that like Crete would be what they were talking about early. And it goes, oh, actually, no, it wouldn't, because we totally acknowledge the island of Crete.
Yeah, I mean,
There's the whole Minotaur myth.
There's also stuff in here about the sea people possibly being Atlanteans. Because sure, why not?
But doesn't the sea people thing happen well after the point that Atlantis was around? Never mind. Well, like it sank and everybody just got on a boat.
Yeah. And they fucked shit up
there's
and then
only
left
two
and went
animals
back
each.
underwater. There's a section here called Believers too. We'll thumb through that real quick because it says something about those special guys that everyone likes so much with their armbands and their
Oh.
the NA
Stormtroopers?
Yes, but not those ones. The NAZIs believe the Atlanteans were a superior race and the ancestors of the, can't say that word, those favored by the unsavory fanatics for peopling the earth. Mr. H's henchman, Heinrich Himmler, was particularly taken with the theory and invested much in a fruitless search. There you go. That's all you need to know about Atlantis. Plato said it was real. The Nazis loved it.
All right. So what I heard was that if you believe in Atlantis, you're a Nazi.
Yep. Makes sense
All
to
right,
me.
all right.
I don't see anything wrong with what you just said.
You guys know that Hitler was a vegetarian?
Did you know that Hitler has
So, like,
the trident of Atlantis? You know Hitler made jazz
Hitler-
music?
Oh my God.
Let's see. We have Signs of the Devil.
Okay. No U-turn. A yield, but like it doesn't have any business being here. Like
It's a
I'm
yield with,
I'm
like,
making
winky face.
I'm making a right hand turn. Why do I have to yield to never mind.
I'm with you on that one. Fuck that shit. Get it together, city planners.
It's like literally tells me to yield, and then there for the people that are making a turn across my lane of traffic. You're making a left-hand turn onto another street.
Do you know more roundabouts in the Midwest are the contributions to all the fucking hurricanes and tornadoes we have?
What?
Yeah. They've been putting in more roundabouts, and there's an immediate correlation over the last 10 years of roundabout creations to tornadoes hitting American soil.
Oh, it's because you guys keep turning around, and it makes it churns the winds.
Yep. Turns the tornadoes out.
Makes perfect sense.
Like I'll say
All
it
right,
this. I'll say it like this. The English known for their shit weather. Wonder why?
Well, that's because they pissed off the Atlanteans.
Should have stuck with the Nazis,
clearly.
idiots. You fucking
Oh. All right. What does it got to say about signs of the devil?
Nothing good. It's just like complaining about how people think that the devil's real and they use it to like kill people, which is kind of lame, actually.
Yeah.
Because let's see, like literally the first section is Church of Satan, and it talks about Anton LaVey.
You want me to give you another random generated number?
Well, I do want to give a quick little bit here, right? Because I just think this. Some churchmen took advantage of the mood, claiming that the devil had singled out followers of the priest Edward Pussy. At the time, Pussy had been trying to reintroduce Catholic ritual into the Church of England, and he controlled a handful of Devon parishes. Some people say it is sent as a warning to the Pussyites. The Western
What are you
Times
saying right now,
gleefully
dog?
reported. Hence, it is that the phenomenon has visited the Pussyite parishes of the Woodbury, Topsham, and Littleham, Exmouth.
What are you saying right now? Little ham pussies. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing with these pussies? What are we doing? What happened to these pussies,
I'm just
man?
saying,
Littleham, Exmouth, man. Come on.
you're going
we've
to
been
try
over
to
this.
reintroduce Catholicism by being Pussyites. Something tells me it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's talking about like how during like the witch trials and shit like that, people would end up with like they'd find like a weird little mark on you and be like, oh yeah, that's the devil's hoof print. Burn her, she's a witch. It's the same thing except for this poor Edward Pussy fellow.
Man, his family tree is fucked up.
Wow, you had a whole movement named after you.
Your last name's
Fucking
Pussy.
Pussyites.
Do you think they said it?
Pussy
Is he
good?
French
It's
descending?
Pussyiite.
Right? So he's like Pussyite? Yeah, like Pussite?
Watch, everyone's gonna be like, his name, it was Poussey, stupid. And I'm like, yeah, it was. But that's not funny. Now is it?
It wasn't funny then.
I mean, I thought Little Ham Cum Mouth was pretty funny.
Little ham come
Little
out
ham
in the
come
pussy,
out.
you know? That guy.
It sounds this was just some poor writer just fucking mad and like no one's even gonna read this fucking shit. Ham cum mouth pussy.
Then the Pussyites thought they could win over Catholics, and they were wrong.
Because Catholics don't like pussy.
Catholics
And then the
don't
punt-
even eat it.
And then the Pussyites got obliterated by the Cuntians and
Oh
it was
no!
all-
And then
The sea people came.
and then the sea.
We have time for one more section. Do we want Haitian zombies?
Ooh.
The Venezuelan ape man.
Ape Man.
Oh, ape man.
Ape Man 100%.
All right.
Man. Ape man.
It is among the most notorious. It is among the most notorious images in the annals of natural history. Seated on a gasoline crate and propped up grotesquely by a stick, the dead ape man has been photographed in a mountainous forest district of Venezuela. The problem for early 20th century zoologists was that no such animal was believed to exist in the continent of the Americas. The photograph was taken in 1920 by Francois Deloise, a Swiss geologist, on a 3-year expedition to explore river and swamp southeast of Lake Maracaibo.
I remember this. We
Your
talked
aim-
about this on the fucking
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this was on the iceberg, wasn't it?
This picture is stupid. It was just one of those things where like the time frame of it didn't help, you know? Because now
Well,
we
'cause
look at it,
it's-
we're like, oh, that's obviously nothing at all. Like,
Yeah, obviously that's just kind of like a fucked up gorilla
Yeah.
or like a fucked up monkey just like put on a stick.
So like the first things that pop up when you look for this is Deloitte's ape man, well played anthropological fraud. So like it just immediately everybody's like, this was like some silly.
Yeah, because it was like 100 years ago. We all know it's fake now, but back then, if someone told you there was an ape man, you're like, well, maybe. I don't know.
we got to start making new paranormal shit happen. We got to start experimenting, guys. We got to start putting some rocks on some other rocks, trying to make new types of rocks. Like we gotta figure it out. We gotta do something new because
Problem is we're just getting like Slender Man and shit.
yeah, we don't need another slender guy. Well, let's get a fat guy, huh? Slender Man. What about like Husky Dude? And he just like shows up and like tries to fuck with you the entire. Like he's not even like scary. He's paranormal. He's a little dickhead.
I actually enjoy when these sorts of bald faced lies have resurgence. Like, do you guys remember maybe 5-6 years ago there was the guys that had claimed to have found Bigfoot and shot him?
Oh yeah,
and they basically just stuffed like a gorilla suit with like venison.
The fact that people
They're
think
just
they
like,
can get
"No."
away with that shit is
Like no one's going to test
I
that
know,
shit.
yeah.
Or,
It's amazing. It's so fun. It's so awesome that it just keeps
Yeah, yeah.
happening.
yeah, I think that's a better answer.
There's
to
full
this.
documented efforts debunking all this stuff for years and years, and so many people have done this. And yet every time there's like once a year someone comes out.
I just glued a beard onto this garbage bag full of hot dogs, and yep, that's a Bigfoot.
Maybe this one will work.
I hate to say it, but not a lot of these have been like particular. Like there was like signs of the devil, I suppose, but like is Ape Man really paranormal? It's just even if Ape Man exists, it's just like a monkey.
It's just genetically a fucked up little dude. Yeah.
There ain't nothing in there about like a Stargate or like a two-headed lady that the one voice only told the truth and the other one only gave you would you like fries with that?
Oh,
Like,
look, it says the Ape Man. Here's a little addendum here. It says the Ape Man had a Stargate key in his hand. And if you try to
so
steal
that
it, it's like a monkey paw situation.
You couldn't find evidence of any such creature existing in the Americas because he was from the future. Woo! It's Planet of the Apes, motherfucker. Yeah, there's more stuff in here. There's like past lives. Like I said, there's like Haitians. There's Haitian zombies. I'm not,
Paranormal the
the
Haitians.
strange world of Haiti.
a recipe for Haitian barbecue. Interesting.
Ooh.
Time slips.
Ooh, do time slip.
For the moment, time machines that transport people to the future and the past at the flick of a switch are strictly the stuff of science fiction. Yet there have been instances where people appear to stumble into a different era, and their memorable anecdotes offer serious food for thought.
Do they do something cheeky here? And like, do they end up like, do they have the same page repeated?
Oh, that would have been good. There's like 3 different stories they tell. So do you want 1, 2, or 3?
Do 2.
The next bizarre time slip had only one witness and therefore more open to doubt. But the man concerned was to become one of the stalwarts of the Royal Air Force during the Second World War, whose reputation was impeccable. In 1934, Wing Commander Victor Goddard was flying a Hawker Hart biplane from Scotland to Andover. Turbulent weather enveloped the plane, and blinded by a deluge and dense cloud, Goddard went into a spin and only narrowly avoided crashing. As soon as he had regained control of the rudimentary aircraft, he suddenly found himself in radically different conditions. The clouds had parted and the sun was beating down below him. He recognized the Drem airfield he had visited the day previously, abandoned after the First World War and now derelict. Yet the airfield was a hive of activity. 3 biplanes were there, just like his own, but painted yellow. And there was a 4th plane, a type he had never seen before. Goddard saw ground crews dressed in blue overalls, although as far as he knew, all RAF uniforms were brown. The man failed to notice Goddard's plane above them, and when the Dern airfield was out of sight, he found himself once more in the teeth of a storm. Goddard put the strange incident in the back of his mind, although he never forgot it. And in 1939, as Britain geared up for war, he was astonished to see biplanes being painted yellow and mechanics' uniforms switching from brown to blue. Oh. So this guy had a deja vu dream, essentially. That's what happened. Like, I'm sure he was like, oh no, I was flying and I totally saw this and it was real. And he's like, no, but then years later, they were wearing blue uniforms and painting things yellow. Ooh, spooky.
Ooh. That is pretty wild, though.
He actually didn't write about it until 1966, too, it says here.
Damn, he kept that shit
so
in. Silent Generation is right.
Yeah, right.
He said, I saw some crazy shit and no one's going to ever hear about it.
Although, I guess the only thing I could say is like there is a sort of perhaps an interesting thing that can happen as far as like consciousness while you're doing like a solo flight by yourself, where it's like,
you trance out and maybe you can sort of catch a glimpse of the beyond the veil of local space time. But it does sound very sus.
Yeah.
I'd say it just sounds very suspect.
It sounds like World War II pilot needed to sell some books later in life. But
So
I'll take.
You guys got book deals?
Like, look, you know how many fuckers survived World War II, and right? Do you have anything interesting? I knew about World War II back in World War I. All right, fine.
All right. I was a Nazi.
And then I saw the Atlanteans.
That I was part of the Atlantean court.
All that said, I need a price from you two for the paranormal book.
It's a book, so it's got to be $5.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat there. It's got to be 5 or maybe even more, but it's 5 for sure at least. Just for like the amount of material involved.
I mean, and it's a pretty thick book. Like I said, it's like a little under 200 pages, but it's a fairly large book. And even though it's like large print and there's not any sentences that are too complex, it's still got a good chunk of information.
If I had a nephew that was like into the woo woo and the Ghostbusters and shit.
Oh yeah, you give this to like a 12-year-old, they're probably having a fucking afternoon at least.
Yeah, it's definitely the type of thing that when I was a kid, I probably would have read it pretty substantially.
Oh, I definitely did. I remember being in like I remember being in like middle school and reading like something that was just an older version of this. In fact, it was the Encyclopedia of Demonology and then Encyclopedia of the Supernatural. And they were essentially books like that, just a lot thicker because they were from like the 80s. Okay, are you guys ready for the price reveal?
Okay, lay it on me, slick.
And we're going to just do this the easiest one of whoever got closer to it gets it.
All right, first one.
For the smudge kit, G, you said $6.
Yeah.
Co-host, you said $5. And it was $5 right on the nose.
Damn.
Told you.
Oh, lucky you.
1 point for co-host. Next for the Taurus incense. Co-host, you said $2. Gary, you said $1. And it was $5.
Fuck
fucking
you.
way.
$5 for that shit.
You can get like actually decent incense for that.
Well, here's the thing, right? They had like a one of those like things where you could pull out the individual sticks,
Right.
and you could get like I think about just as many as were in that pack for like $3. So I have no clue
What a
why the fuck
racket.
anyone would have bought that. I guess because it had the Taurus thing on it.
Because it's in
or
a
something.
box, yeah.
No, you just open up the box and you take the incense out and then you put them in the other thing.
That's what a real Taurus would do.
Practical.
It's practical.
Okay, so for the aromatics, Gary, you said $3.
Yeah, I think it's
Co-host,
a
you said
$3.
$2.
Again, material
was-
wise.
It was again $5.
Fuck yeah.
Can you believe
each
that
of
shit?
them?
Five each. Yeah.
God, insane.
So that's 1 point for Gary, though.
Hey, I'm stepping up in this world. You better watch
All
out.
right.
Watch
So
your
now for the
fucking
worry
back.
stone.
Uh-oh.
Both of you said $5.
Yeah.
And it was, in fact, $5.
Woo! I win.
Listeners, if you're noticing a pattern here that they're willing to sell you basically anything for $5,
A lot of these are $5. Yeah.
You know what's even better for $5? You already know what the fuck I'm going to say.
You already
know what's the damn deal.
The cowboy hat incense holder. Gary, you said $5.
Yeah.
And co-host, you also said $5.
I swear if this is a buck, I'm going to be so pissed.
This was $3.25.
Why is the incense more than that?
I have no fucking
Wow.
A child
Well, I
definitely bled on that one.
clue. If you guys noticed, the front had a chip on it. So I think maybe they demarked it down for that.
Originally it was
But I don't
$20.
know.
Was this like the only one that you had? Like, was this the only one that was there?
It was the one I saw, and it's the one I picked up. So if there were more,
Guys, I just found the incense holder on eBay. It's worth $3,000.
we are down to the drink.
Oh, the
And-
drink, I think it was like 3, right? I said
Yeah,
3.
Gary said $3. Co-host said $2.50, and it was actually the cheapest thing here. It was $1.25.
No shit.
Wow.
At least they knew.
That's great because
That
that
means
was
Wizard
actually
of the
what I.
Coast is not getting any.
I think
money
that's
on
what
it.
I said. This was actually worth to me. Like
Yeah.
I'd pay like $1.50 for it.
I'm pretty sure that why it's so cheap is because they got it like marked down from like an FYE that couldn't sell it.
Right.
Like they're already like, I don't have to make any money off this. I just need to sell it to justify having shit in my store.
This is a literal like write-off product. This is a loss leader product.
It goes right off the shelf into the garbage.
Right off
And-
into the shelf.
And lastly, we had the Paranormal book, which you both said was $5, and you were both correct. It was indeed $5.
It's got to be $5. A lot of fives today.
Yeah, a lot of fives. As you can see, why I didn't buy a lot of this shit. Because
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I'm not spending $5 on just incense.
God,
Mhm.
that would have been such a great bit though if you were like, I used all the Patreon money for this one segment of this one episode, and
We've bankrupted ourselves for
and it's
comedy.
gone. It's all gone.
It's all fucked.
It's all
So
fucked.
co-host is the winner by a mere 2 points, though. So it was a good game. Good game.
Mere
everyone
2
around.
points out of 5 questions. Come on now.
Well, and
No, you did a good
it was
match.
only because
Oh,
it was who got closest. If I had done it by the rules we played with last time, I think you guys would have like tied.
All right, I see you, pretty face.
Well,
Yeah. Like he only beat you because somebody had to win all of these, except for the one that
Okay.
you both guessed the same price and were not even close.
I'm just okay.
well,
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I think maybe next time we do this, we need to like just go in there and like we try to find the cheapest thing or something like that, where it's like we need to or try to find the like whatever like the best actual deal or some
We
nonsense.
should find
and-
like a
have,
discount
like-
magic store.
oh no, that would really be gold, but those are
I think
harder
we're gonna
to
have to
find.
move on to like something along those lines, like or maybe like go online and like order the cheapest magical crap we can find, because going to Five Below is like we have basically exhausted all the crap that they have.
I was like,
between-
that's all
Well,
the $5
other than like
things.
you can always find more like goofy books, like I could find how
Right.
to read auras or some shit like that. But
Oh yeah, 'cause there were several books. I only picked up one book, and there were like 4 of them that I saw that I could have gotten. This was probably the best pick, but it was like the other one was like encounters with Bigfoot and shit like that.
this was still this was funny. I always do get a kick out of this garbage.
Yeah, I thought this
That
was a
was
good
fun.
one to come back to after special. Just chill, have some fun, make fun of shit, magic shit.
Absolutely.
And with that, time for the palate cleanser, and we'll go quick this one because this episode's already running over. How goes the work?
I actively took a week off from doing anything.
Hell yeah.
Like I told myself like, hey, I'm gonna not do magic and try not to think about magic for like a week. and see
Sometimes
what
you need
happens.
that, Sometimes you need the reset.
Well, I picked up my Nintendo Switch for the first time in like 2 years. So
Oh, I feel that, dude.
I, on the other hand, have just been yelling at demons for like the last like 2 weeks, just trying to get something to happen for me. Nothing like crazy. I need money.
I feel that, dog.
Yeah, I mean, and it seems to be working so far. I guess I'll know in a couple days whether or not it worked, how well I want it to. But it seems, regardless, that it's kind of solved my issues there. Just when in doubt, yell at some demons. What about you, G? You doing anything interesting?
I've been manifesting a lot of creative endeavors, trying to organize a lot of stuff in my life with magic, and just trying to like consolidate a lot of efforts. Sounds a bunch of vague terminologies and bozo words, but basically the long and short of it is I'm making really cool fucking like sculptures and shit now. And it's kind of like taking over my whole fucking thing. Like I'm like way into it now.
hell yeah for that hyper obsession.
Like hyper obsessed. Like I used to do music. I don't do
Ooh.
music anymore. I make sculptures is what I do now.
all I do.
I've given up on doing anything creative other than this one thing.
Yeah, and it's
I
not even like
now-
I'm making the sculptures. I'm just finding sculptures.
I
just
now
like,
live in a cave with my 3D printer,
Yeah, it's me,
and I talk to
big
the,
tittied
I talk-
animated goth girl.
and I talk to the printer and I rub it sensually and I
Nice.
say things nice about the printer.
Like, come for me, Naruto. Come for me. Anyway, but all jokes aside, I mean, I'm just been trying to work on some shit. Magically, I've been doing a little bit of kind of ritualistic stuff in the morning. Just general kind of affirmation / you honestly saying crazy shit just to say it and get it out of me. So
I mean, hell yeah, that shit works as long as it works.
I've been sick as a dog though, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do that when you're that level of like, beat down. But
yeah,
that about rounds things out for this episode, I guess. With all
another
of that
one in the
said,
can. This has been Chaos Magic News, and unlike Atlantis, we are
not Nazis.
What was it? Ham cum next mouth? I don't know. Shit. This has been Chaos Magic News, the remaining order of the Pussyites and Little Ham X mouth cum. Yeah. There we go. Nailed it.
as always, if you want to find out what actually happened to Atlantis, you can find out more at chaosmagicnews.com.
There you go.
Where we'll have links to the pod, links to our prolific interview series, the occasional article, and everything else you could possibly want for us. But if for some reason that is not what you want from us, you could also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where we're posting memes and clips from the show and much of the same, just letting you know what's coming out. And then if somehow you're saying, look, I gotta have this $5 is burning a hole in my pocket. And you know what? I already heard about the book. So like whatever. So you could take that and then find us on Patreon, where we just started our occult iceberg tier list thing. And
it's been going pretty good.
That's been going pretty well. That's going to be the new thing for the foreseeable. But there's also a couple older episodes of little odds and ends and random subjects that we do little bonus content for. So that'll be there if you like that. And if you want to get a hold of us and chit chat and bullshit with some really cool people, you could always find the CMN Discord. And while we're on the subject of the Patreon, we have some thank yous.
Oh boy, do we.
All of today's thank yous are going to be done with your magic names, though. And these are names that we at CMN are going to give you. So
we get out of it by just like using random fucking names.
Yeah.
You're like, that's all of you.
That's
Figure
all
out
of
which
you.
one you were.
Thank you to Klimklop. Thank you to Gingal. Thank you to Zimzor. Thank you.
Thank you to Umbop.
Umbop Olamble.
Okay. So thank you, Obs Black. Thank you, Andrea WK. Thank you, Pope Loki Sater the 23rd LLC. Thank you, Local. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Cios93. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you, Coco. Thank you, Curse T. Thank you, Fyodor Krasny. I promised I'd mispronounce your name, buddy. Thank you, Venus Christ. Thank you, Acolyte 1 of the Ice Magic Meditation Society. Thank you, DD Destruction. Thank you, Tangy Darling. Thank you, Sylv. Thank you, Michael Tramov. Thank you, Bearded Vegan. Thank you, Cece. Thank you, Toziel. And thank you, Tommy Kelly, who somehow is paying us.
So I really like that you laughed at my bit and then continued to do my bit. Those are those aren't real names.
Those were the names that they chose.
Those are all fake magic names. Those are bullshit.
These are all fake people that aren't really paying us.
Tommy Kelly. What is that?
What kind of name is Tom? But really, thank all of you. You guys
Truly, thank you.
You have no idea how great it is to see all of your beautiful names every time we post something. And every time we read that list, it seems to just get longer and longer, and our hearts just get more and more full. So thanks.
Truly.
And with that, co-host, because you've been quiet, would you like the last word?
I just think that the important thing to note is that this episode has actually been a time slip. This is from next week.
I gotta make a call.
This was the first episode. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What kind of energy am I supposed to have right now?
Like, at least not like hand in the wood chipper
Are you guys
energy.
ready for it? You guys ready to do the show? Yeah. You guys, everybody excited?
I am.
We're going to talk about magic. We're going to talk about how magic everything is.
Yeah, I think this is a good direction.
I'm going to put my balls on the counter, and just my balls, right? Just my balls. And I'm gonna beat them shits with a spiked bat.
All right, the magic's coming. Here we go.
I'm gonna sew my asshole, sew your asshole shut, and just keep feeding you.
All right, this
And
is
feeding you.
No.
Pretty
If you're gonna do the Wu-Tang bit, like you have to keep with that happy guy voice you were just doing.
I'm gonna just sew your asshole shut and just keep feeding you and feeding you and feeding you.
God damn.
Protect your neck.
Protect your neck.
Bring the ruckus. Bring the mother father ruckus.